Alright, so we're back with another episode of Just a Podcast. Star here, Neek. We have some special guests here. Ladies, want to introduce yourselves?
Yes. Floresca is me. Out of Brooklyn.
And your businesses?
So I have like a business.
Production company too.
Yeah, I co-founded a production company, VNF Productions, and I own and founder. I'm an owner and founder of Itana NYC, and I sell handbags and I handmade candles.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Like her magic.
They smell amazing.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You didn't tell me.
Yeah, they're regular candles.
Flo started what? Was it 2-3 months ago? You started?
The candles I started.
Yeah, the candles.
Yeah.
But she was in production with the candles, so I didn't know. Like, I was waiting for it to be ready. Then you already have a bunch of candles from the other black one.
No, I didn't buy them.
Oh, you did? Oh, so
They
you
was
got
turned
it
up.
up.
I got some candles for you.
Yeah, she got candles.
Yeah.
She got candles.
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
Who's that?
Look, okay, my name is Shasha. I don't have no businesses, anything like that, so I don't really know what else to say about myself. I'm a Sag, by the way.
She loves promoting.
I'm a Sag.
Yeah.
Love to see
My
it.
little sister is a Sag.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much. I can't.
Well, I'm Joanne. I love when people call me Joe. I work at the New York City Alliance Against Sexual Assault. I love working with youth. And I'm going to be the next motherfucking Oprah.
Okay.
Period.
Coming down the universe.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, you work so well with Joel since he's in that
Oh
film.
yes, we can link you guys together.
I love it.
Because he works with social work and stuff.
Alright. So,
Yeah.
And who are you two? I mean,
y'all know who the fuck we are. Just the podcast. Okay. Like, subscribe, comment. What's other? Like,
Share.
Okay, so this is the girls' version of what we did 2 weeks ago with the guys.
Okay.
So we had a lot of men ask, like they gave questions in, and they want us ladies to answer these questions. So honestly, truthfully, I mean, obviously, like, you know, if you feel like this is too, if you don't want to be too,
Is there a safe word?
oh, maybe we should create a safe word. Okay, look at you. When we did this with the guys, it was like, okay.
So this safe word is if we don't,
Can't
feel
answer.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, so create the safe word.
The first thing I thought of was me and Tango. I don't know why.
Okay, I think it works.
Okay, Mandingo.
Mandingo.
Safe
Okay.
word.
It's a safe word.
Got it.
So let's start.
Want me to
post-
start?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Let me see this question. What do women do when their kitty cat stinks but already at the guy's house?
Huh?
What? Alright, well, I've never had that experience. Thank God. But
Neither have I.
Me
Not
either.
a
But
thing.
doesn't mean it's not a real thing.
No,
Right.
So hypothetically speaking, what would you do? I mean, if you're
I
going
would freshen up.
I would
Yes.
use your shower.
Yes.
Right.
You only go 10. I need to go bathe. Before I go
Yes.
I agree.
I feel like respectfully, it should not be an issue.
Yeah.
But if you know you are going to a man's house, you should prep.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, but let's talk about like real life scenario,
If
right?
it's a sneaky link.
No. Like you just randomly going? No, not random. I'm just saying, like, you've been at work all day. You got the text, like, hey, come over. You didn't expect to get the text, but you're excited to get the text because, you know, we get excited when we get those texts.
Right.
We're like, oh,
Certain people.
So then you've been out all day or whatever. Yes, when you get there, bathe and stuff like that. Or honestly, like, be slick ladies, ask them to hop in, like, get in the shower for a little bit and then ask
Or use a
them.
sink. What's that? Summer Walk was talking about the
Bird bath.
Bird
The
bath.
verb, oh
I
yeah,
got time. I'm a big bitch. I can't be doing all this. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll see you in a bit. That's it. I'll go there.
yeah.
No excuse.
But I'm just saying, like, if you, as far as like, just because, you know, we have egos and stuff like that, you don't want to say anything or whatever. or make yourself feel some type of way.
Yeah.
Plus, I might dry you out too. You might be like, shit.
It depends on the partner, because niggas be nasty. Some niggas be like, "Go, I want you to come with a work day of sex."
That is true.
Niggas be
Freaky,
nasty. I've heard a lot.
Okay.
I've heard a lot.
I'm dead.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Next.
Okay, me. Are women more horny on their period? Before my period, I be wanting to fuck and cry to stay the entire.
I'm horny on my period.
I'm horny on my period.
I'm horny on my period. But maybe
Yeah,
after. Like, right, like,
After.
my last day, I'd be looking at this nigga like, yeah.
Did you answer, Sean?
I did. I
Okay.
said yes.
So, next then for the next question.
I did.
Oh,
you
shit.
gotta
I
ask a
didn't, you
question.
know what? I didn't even think about that. Okay, is a man unattractive after you see his penis size? What's your ideal size? For me, no. No.
Yeah.
Because if I'm attracted to you physically and your dick is not what I thought
Wow, that's gonna hurt someone's feelings.
it would be. Okay, that's not gonna make me think that you ugly. Because if you, that's like Trey Songz.
No, but it would damper a little bit.
It's kind of
you know.
But then that's like a nigga. That's like a woman having an ugly vagina, like an ugly pussy, but she's an attractive woman, and the nigga's like, well, your vagina. I'm just saying, if we reverse the role.
Bring the lights off. The lights gonna be off.
Okay.
But now,
it's a
but I was gonna say, I would think that it's more so like a performance thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
like,
small,
what
you
would you
should
do
be
with it?
able to like,
still do
you know how to like
Okay.
work
That's
what
true.
you work what you got.
But wait, but would that make that person ugly?
No.
No.
So make it work.
So then, what's the ideal?
Oh no, I was just saying. I think we all kind of agree on that. Like,
Yeah.
And then like an ideal size. I mean, that was the.
well, I'm not a bitch that's out here like I want a big dick, because I can't handle a big dick.
Yeah.
I'll take like average or maybe an inch or two above average. That's it.
Yeah. Same.
I give it a star.
Like
What's
6
happening?
What, 6, 7?
Okay, I can do like average to 7 because
Yeah.
our vaginas technically are not that long anyway.
Right.
So we can't take no 13-inch dick.
Yeah.
So
I think we
ours
are
to pass this around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Who's taking big dicks like that?
These
Girl,
bitches
you
who
need
be
some
lying.
they really be
Bitches don't
lying.
be wanting
Oh
it.
yeah, give me a 10-inch.
And they be running from the shit.
No.
Or you can just put it in your ass.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, it is. There's no limit there.
I was like, that's
straight.
That is a thing. That's a thing. So, what do women expect from their boyfriends as a partner? You shouldn't expect shit. I'm sorry. So
I'm triggered.
no, just because, and I guess it's different. I think I'm biased.
Yeah, you are.
I think I'm biased because I'm engaged, about to be married. So like, you gotta expect something from him, but you can't expect because I think it's more so of where that person is in their mind. Like, do they even want to be married? Do they do they want those things? Because as women, right, we automatically we'll be dating a dude, and we automatically expect those things. Like a couple years, he should want to marry me. He should want to do this and the third. But you should not put those expectations on a boyfriend that doesn't have those same. Because boyfriend and partner is two different things.
That is true.
He's
Yes.
a boyfriend he's a boyfriend. He's not. You know what I
mean?
mean? Like,
Yeah, but if we look at it like this, say it is not a marriage thing. What do you expect from your man? Period. Like,
what
let's
For
look
your
at the
partner.
If
yeah,
long-term
right.
goals, I would say like, okay, marriage into play. But if you're just dating and you want something
Like, if you
what
don't
look
want
forward to,
marriage.
yeah, like
Right.
what do you look forward to? Like consistency, communication, respect,
Right.
loyalty. Those are things that you would want in your partner.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
driven, ambitious.
Yeah.
I can't have no bums.
Whatever I bring to the table, should I bring to the table?
Okay.
talk
Go
your
off.
shit.
No
No
napping.
napping.
I'm not. I
No
can't.
napping.
Period. I'm not gonna ask you for what I can't give.
Oh, okay.
Because
I like
that's a
that.
lie. I'm not moving in integrity. I'm not authentic.
Right.
So whatever I'm asking you for, I have. Best believe. I work
Okay.
on it.
But everybody's
Yeah,
not
that's-
everybody's
everybody's
not
not
like
like
that.
that,
So we have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we realize being on the same page, then we go our separate ways. You want to fuck, or then we dip, or
Well, but that's right, but that's true. But like, I feel like that's the mature way to think about it, right? we do have some younger folks or even older folks that don't think like that. They just, I'm in a relationship. This is who I'm with, and I've been with this person for a long time. So what do I expect from this person? The same fucking thing you've been expecting from them. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, it's whatever that person showed you, like as far as like who they are as a person, that's what you need to expect. Don't expect anything outside of that, because that's not authentic. Because now it's more so of what you're imagining in your head about what you want versus reality.
Right.
And that's friction. You know what I mean? Like so many dudes that, some like, I want this girl to be this, that, and the third, and whatever, do backflips and shit in the bedroom. And that's not true.
And then they can't even handle it. There's that, and also don't fall for your potential. A lot of times I feel like women, we see someone, we see everything that they can be or they could be, and they don't even see that for themselves. So we're operating at a level where I see you at your greatest, and you don't even see yourself like that. So then you're not able to
jump to
I do think as women we put a lot of expectations on men compared to men. They don't put expectations on men.
They just like, I just want to know if you can do a split or not.
Right.
And you don't know.
Right.
And then us, we're just like, wow, I want to know if he can make 6 figures or not. I want to know if he can provide for me. Like, if I lose my job, can he hold it down and not look at me sideways? Like, those type of things. And granted, that's all good, but not every dude can handle that. Some dudes, they need you to go to work. We gonna
I don't want to go to work anyway.
But everybody's different. Some girls, some women, they want to stay home, or some women have to stay home. Like, it just depends on the dynamic of your family.
Absolutely.
You're next.
Go ahead. That was a good little segment.
Right?
Feel really empowered.
Okay. Why is the bathroom break important before sex? Do you really have to pee?
No, I'm making sure everything is good down there.
And also you don't want to catch no UTI too, because they say you're supposed to pee before sex.
But they say also pee supposed. Oh yeah, after. Definitely supposed to pee after. I don't know, like guys peeing right before, which I never understood. Like if you're already, you gotta go pee. It's very weird to me.
What I was told is like they can't concentrate because it's like they gotta pee and then like it's just too much going on.
Oh.
Okay.
Well,
I think bathroom breaks are important period.
Also, too, no one's gonna talk about the Easter egg moments where you gotta prep yourself in the mirror. Like,
that's true.
Exactly.
Oh, quote-unquote, we can act like we peeing, but we prepping ourselves.
Gotcha.
That's universal for all.
I feel like, I wonder if guys do that. Do they go to the bathroom?
I feel like they go to the bathroom talk to their dicks like, why you know we're good?
Who knows?
That part too, they gossip just like women do. If not worse.
They do.
Interesting.
Okay, what's this?
This one says, why do women expect the most out of men, but rarely have anything to offer aside sex in some cases? Like offering mental support, question mark.
That's a personal person.
Sounds
really personal.
Is what I would ask.
There are some women that they expect all this from men, but all they have to offer is their looks and sex.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know women.
That
like
just means you just put it on the front at this point.
Yeah.
And you can, if you sit down with somebody and you don't say shit, they're gonna show you who the fuck they are in a couple of minutes. Just listen to what the fuck they saying. So it's just like if you weren't able to peep the finesse, then you've just been finessed.
But I also think that because for us, right, as women, when we see a dude and we want to talk to him and we want to get to know, like, pick his brain and all this extra stuff, we go out to eat and we just be like. He think that we're just mesmerized by their look, but we passed that. Like, that was on day one. Like, now that I'm sitting in front of you, I actually want to know what's coming out of your mouth. I want to know, like, how your brain works. I want to know if all the screws are together. Like, that type of thing, or whatever. But for dudes, it's the opposite, right? They're staring at us and like, damn, man, like, I want to know if she could, like... like, right, but I feel like it takes a couple dates for a guy before he gets to the mental part, unless he's already serious when he comes in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Slow.
Because Well, not that they be slow. I don't want to say
Emotionally,
that.
I feel.
I feel like emotionally.
We're more mature
Emotionally, I don't feel like guys show up to a date with the emotion on their sleeve as far as like, this is what I want.
Yeah, their guard is up.
Yeah, their guard is up. So it's like versus us, where we're like, I just want to be in love.
Yeah. I also do feel like most of the time they come to the table and it's already sex. So if you feeling like, oh, that's all they have to offer, but that's what you think about.
Right.
So we can sit down and be like, I really want to get to know this guy, and he's like, I'm just gonna take on a couple of dates I can fuck. It's different.
Yeah.
So
the energy you give is the energy you're gonna get back.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, for this unfortunate hurt person, I would say
Therapy.
well, yeah.
Or
But
vet the women that you are dating. Vet them.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Before you get serious.
you know what's for real? I'm about to say this. And hopefully this don't offend you guys. As far as just like as we being real, right?
Yes.
Don't take nobody out on no date that like as soon as you already feel like they're just out for a free meal. I feel like how like we can talk, like we gonna be real. I've gone on some days where I be like, my mom would be like, where you going to eat? And I honestly, I'm sorry, whoever was the victim, but as for she just wanted to see a movie. But on some real, because we've all done it, right? And sorry to you guys that have fallen victim. But the problem is you cannot show up to the date and like not already have had these conversations and kind of like gotten a little deeper before the date. Me, I was gonna say his name, but then I'm kind of.
I mean, that's up to you.
I don't know
His fiancé.
His name is Jeff. I don't
Yeah.
know him. So, me and him spoke on the phone for 2.5 weeks before our first date. And our first date was to the movies. Like, it wasn't like crazy and stuff. And then we did like cute little dates after that. But like, he was able to pick my brain and kind of see where I was at prior to even showing up to see me. And a lot of times, some girls, they're not on that. They kind of just like, if you're gonna take me out, then take me out, period.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't even know why you're calling me. If you're not taking me out, I don't want to talk to you. Which is fine, but at least if that's where you are, you can date somebody or deal with somebody that's on that same level who only want to talk to you and deal with you when they're ready to go. Versus somebody who's ready to settle down, or versus somebody that's ready to just be with somebody that cares about them genuinely and wants to be in their presence. That type of thing, you're going to have to vet that. That's not, you're not going to be able to just send a quick text, meet her at a bar real quick, and just that be it.
Yes, to piggyback off of that is that you said that y'all was talking for 2 weeks prior before the date.
Right.
A lot of people go on these dates and they be like, oh, let's pick a movie. I feel like a movie for a first date
It's horrible.
It's horrible. It's
Yeah.
because you won't be able to talk. You won't really get to pick their brain and see what's going on with them. It's just like you're just staring at the screen and like, okay, it's over, then what?
Right.
Either go home or you're going out to eat. What is it?
Right.
So,
I think it was
first
a
dates
lot of
and
things
movies,
that Jeff was
no.
trying to figure out.
yeah.
I think it was just like, can I see, can she actually be quiet? You know when you go to
He's my godbrother, by the way. He's a Taurus too, so us Tauruses, we like.
I just want to
Let me feel you
Right.
out.
Like,
That's how we. Let me feel you out.
So
Yeah.
it was very. I thought it was weird. I was kind of like, why do you want to go to movies? Like, nobody's gonna be talking, but whatever. I went along with it.
I look at y'all now.
Yeah.
Look at y'all now.
I think that's an important step to have those conversations first, because I think for him and maybe for you too, it's like as you have these conversations, it's like, do I want to waste my time on this person? Do I want to entertain it? So it's like as good that you guys had that conversation for 2.5 weeks,
Right.
and then once you met each other, it was like the chemistry just bonded. You guys already spoke. He kind of just was like, all right, I like this, this, that.
Yeah.
Some people don't do that. They
She
just
knows a rat.
talk, text for a little bit, and then they go on a date.
And then, but you know what? It's crazy because like you also have to. Let's be real. Like we've had these moments where like you went on a date. The date was cool. It was great. And then you got home and you was kind of like,
I ain't never going again.
no, I wasn't even gonna say that. So you're staying. Because that moment, you know what I mean? Like we could be adults about this situation. So you're staying, right? Okay, cool. So we gonna get this rocking. And when you step into that, now you have all these random situations of like, okay, I hooked up with this guy and he cool or whatever, but I'm kind of just like, or vice versa, where he's not really feeling it, but you're just like up in arms. and that whole situation could have been avoided if you actually had a conversation with this person.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So many times we agreed to just, oh yeah, I met you on Friday, you want to go out on Saturday, cool. We slept on Saturday night, and now you're looking wild as fuck because you're just like, I don't even really like this dude, or vice versa. You don't really like me, whatever, and stuff. So,
well, that's why it's important to have those conversations.
Transparency.
Oh, sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay, why do women not know what they want to eat?
That is me.
I
know
what I want to eat.
So, first of all, I'm a foodie. I'm a big foodie. I love food. But it's like, what do you want to eat? I'm so indecisive.
Like, I always know.
I mean,
so,
I'm not picky
know.
on the plays, but it's like as soon as we pick a plays, I'm indecisive on the menu. Like, what do I want to eat for
Yes.
the menu? It's never like the cuisine. It's just usually the menu.
What if he just picks the place and then leaves you with the menu like a couple hours ahead? I think that's the best thing, so you have time to choose.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
what
that.
you
Yeah.
want,
I like
stuff
that.
like that.
But where did guys get this whole thing that women don't know what they want to eat?
I mean, because
I
we
don't know.
I don't.
I've seen
like,
you and Jeff. What do you want to keep it? I don't know. What do you want to eat? And
Yeah,
it's
but
like,
everywhere.
I don't know. We really be going back and forth. I don't know.
When he finally orders, he's like, oh, what you want? He's like, oh, I don't want that. But then when you see it, it's like, oh, can I have a piece? And like,
and then they
Yes,
get
I
so
do.
Yeah, I like a man who pays attention to what I eat and just orders for me. I've had that before. Like,
Okay.
going on a date and a guy will order and I'm like, oh shit, how did you know I want that? And it would be good. Like, I never not liked it.
That's nice.
Alright.
That is good.
Do women prefer men's private area completely shaved or not? Explain.
completely shaved.
I like it.
Really?
Yes.
I like
I
it
think it's
landscape.
trim.
Yeah.
Not like like not shaved.
Like
there.
trim.
Like
Trim,
trim.
yeah.
Trim.
I have to.
I want to search
Dude, oh, I speak truth.
Yeah.
That done shaved the whole thing and it took me by surprise. I was like, oh. Because that was the first time, and I was just like, not my first time having sex, the first time like I've had that experience where a man has been completely, you know who I'm talking about.
I know. What are you talking about?
And I was just like, I was smoking head, and I was like, oh, shaved, okay. So,
I don't know. I feel like I'll be like I'm looking at a little boy's penis or something. Like I need to see some hair.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
I don't like hair.
Really?
I do not like hair. I don't like hair. I don't like it. No.
I don't like too much.
yeah, so you want it like trimmed.
Yeah, like I don't like.
Okay, if it's a little bit, like a tiny bit, that's fine.
But it
Like,
depends on your dude because like you got these dudes that be hairy.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't like
And
that.
you got you know you just be like
And some are not that
man, like,
hairy, like
so
it's
hairy.
like they just.
It's
maintain
disgusting. Like you don't want to be giving head and it's got like
disgusting.
hair.
For me, I don't want to search for it. Like I don't.
No, I don't want to search for
You
it.
should have all that hair.
Honestly, if it's that much hair and you're searching
You
for
searching
it,
for it, girl? Oh my
something is
God.
wrong.
Yeah.
That's when I wouldn't even go down.
Yeah,
like
like-
too much hair.
That's funny.
No.
Shad's like, no, I'm not budging.
Why y'all like it?
Why
Why y'all like it? I'm about to read this. I'm about to read this, and I'm telling you right now.
I had a little accent in there.
Yeah.
I
She from
really.
Boston.
Okay, I had a little accent in
B-Town.
there.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
B-Town, right?
B-Town.
Yeah. I said B-Town. You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Oh man.
Yo, you see this?
Read the question.
I know. I wrote it from the person who said it.
Yeah.
I was like, number 2 though.
This person's an asshole.
I'm
Are
nervous.
wigs helmets? Are wigs helmets
Oh my God.
really important to you? Is natural hair not a thing anymore? First of all, you asshole. Wigs are not. It's not that it's not. It's not that it's super important. There's a few reasons why
Yo,
women
you
go
know,
outside.
If y'all hear them, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Get
they are having
outside.
a party. There's a few reasons why women wear wigs. I have a wig on now. First of all, and it is. I wear wigs because in the modeling industry and getting your hair, like they do so much stuff to your hair, and you get so accustomed to wearing a wig to protect it. As far as it's like doing too much. Also, nigga, we're lazy. We don't want to wake up every day and do this thing, put these gel braids in real quick, and throw this wig on and be cute. I understand why you're upset, but natural hair is a thing because I adore like like how I, especially during quarantine, how I've been able to take care of my hair and how it's been growing, and like Joanne has taught me to teach.
It's a second job.
To really feel like a whole crown and a queen with my natural hair. But the judgment on this.
Well, my thing also too is that, are you going to be accepting of my
natural
texture?
hair?
Because it's not like, I can't do the little swirls.
It's not like Becky.
I can't either. I'm
You know
gonna
what I'm
cancel
saying?
my hair and it's straight.
So it's kind of like, if I'm wearing my natural hair, are you going to like that? Are you going to accept it? Are you going to help me buy products? Like, what are you going to do?
Wait. Are you going to grease my scalp?
That part.
Like, I just want to know.
Do you even grease your scalp?
Period.
I feel like we need to get rid of the stereotype because they feel like, because people wear braids or wigs, that we do not have hair.
Right.
That's
Do not let that fool you.
But we wear
That's
that
a
to
shrinkage
protect our
shrinkage.
hair.
Exactly. It's so
That's
Because
the
that
best
shrinkage,
you
baby, when you get that blown out,
Inches.
inches on top of inches, baby.
But the fact that he put helmet is what threw me.
Yeah.
Sidebar, we don't find out who said this, okay?
That's somebody who sounds like he don't date women who wear wigs.
No,
Yeah.
no, not even that. Somebody who has whoever wrote this question and whoever they're dating, whoever does that person's wig, clearly is offended by the way that person's wig is constructed.
It's not
It's not laid. No, seriously, because like Jeff has never been like, you gonna put that helmet on today.
Right.
I've never had that issue. Granted, I've had Nyla come up to me and be
Oh,
like,
yeah?
It's the wig for me. And I'd be like, yes.
That's gonna be so weird.
That is gonna be so
It's the
weird.
inches for me.
Yeah. So these kids, they're pretty ruthless. But this person was a little ruthless too.
Yeah, that helmet. Yeah, we ain't gonna do that. Okay. So I really like this question. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Why do women stay more within their own race background than men when it comes to dating? So, I love me a black man, a king, but I don't have a problem dating outside my race.
She does it because she wants a biracial kid.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But she's like, I need a biracial kid.
So, I don't have no problem dating outside my race, but I feel like if you are going to date outside your race, educate yourself, please.
Yes.
Yeah,
What she said.
Thank you.
I've dated outside. I haven't gone. I've dated outside of my race before, but you do have to educate yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that just as like black women in general, especially if you don't educate yourself on the other nationality or ethnicity that you're dating and stuff, you can be offended quickly or not so quickly when you should be offended because you don't know. So educating yourself is number one, but they have to also educate themselves.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because
Yes.
I feel like outside races want to date black people, period, and they don't educate themselves on like the black culture, and they think that they can make jokes and they think that they can do certain things and you shouldn't be offended because I mean, why would you be offended? You're dating me and I'm an outside person. Almost like I'm inviting you into my world versus the other way around, when it really is the other way around.
Yes.
So you know, because it's a different dynamic. So educating yourself.
Well, my answer is Shaw's answer.
Yeah,
like
same.
I love black men, but I've always been open to dating other races. I have dated like people, talk to people that are from other races. But wait, what was the question again?
Why do women?
Why do women stay more within their race and
But I also
men?
I think it's
Because
also
we honor our black men.
yeah.
Like
But it's
we
also what attracts to you though too. 'Cause
True.
I think for me personally, I get a lot of black men that want to talk to me more than any other race. I think the only person outside my race was like that Indian guy from Vicky's birthday. That was it. Other than that, I don't get white men, Asian men trying to talk to me. It's usually black men.
That didn't happen to me. I didn't get any Asian. I had white.
Yeah, I have not gotten Asian. White I have gotten. That was like one fucking time a long time ago.
But then I feel like more so like with a lot of these different race and stuff, a lot of them stay within. They are they
They're
are
comfortable.
born to have to marry within their same race, and a lot of these marriages are what you call that?
Arranged?
Yes, arranged. So it's like you know, that's all they know. So
Yeah.
stepping out is like, who are you?
Yeah. But I also think that even, especially now, like we've also, as Black women, we've always protected Black men. As far as just like our brothers, our cousins, like we've always been for the Black man. However, that hasn't always been reciprocated.
Right.
That's
Period.
another argument.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
That's a different topic. However, for on our end, we've always protected them. It's always been this thing to make sure that they're okay. So when, as far as being attracted, you're always, as women, for us, we were always attracted to them because we initially innate want to be with them, want to protect them, want to be in their presence and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And we value them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Most of us.
I agree with what y'all said. I feel like I'm open, but it's Black men for me, really.
Okay.
It's a Black man for
Well,
me.
sometimes
Period.
The way that shit was like, go. Sorry, you next.
Oh,
Okay, that's good, sis.
I know for me, like, I want to marry
Pass
a
it
Black
down.
man. Alright. Why do I have to be a low-key dickhead for women to be interested?
See, I don't
But that's
understand
actually
that.
sad.
But
Yo,
I do
oh.
think but like, yeah, no, but seeing this, I feel like a lot of women are like this. Like a man will show you who he is, he will show you his asshole traits, and they would still be attracted to that. They would still go chase that. Meanwhile, they have other men that would treat them like a queen.
But isn't that what they always say? Nice guys finish last.
Yeah. So I mean, I kind of
I was
understand
thinking
this person.
that.
I want a nice guy.
I want a nice guy too.
I want
but
a nice guy.
cannot-
Don't eat some
I'm
niggas.
just saying.
I can honestly
You know, but it
say,
happens a lot.
But
though.
it happens a lot.
It
you know,
does.
let me say
Go
something. I can honestly say I've been in that position where someone has shown me who they are, but I've had this complex of like, okay, my love can save you. Let me love you. Let me show you, and try to change him.
You know what? That was
And
me.
that was the
That was
problem.
me too.
Because you can't change nobody unless
It
they want to
happens
be
a
changed
lot.
themselves. And I had to go through that. And yeah, he would hurt me, but I'm like, okay, but my love though, that's just slap. It's gonna save you. You're gonna change your mind. You're gonna see like I'm cooking, my throat's great, it's good, everything. You're gonna, and it doesn't work.
But sometimes that's still not enough.
It's not.
You can't be everything to a man and it's still not enough. And that's my question, like, why not? Like, I want somebody that's gonna do
Why
all
did
these
you
other
ask
things.
that? Why did you ask that
But
question?
you know
Right.
what?
Why do we keep going back to those
But
men?
it's
That
not.
goes back
But
to that
it's not. But
question.
the thing about it, it's not us.
Mental illness.
It's not us. Like, just think about it in this sense, right? Like when somebody has some, like whatever, whoever this is, right? Like, what's the question? Why do I have to
Be like a low key dickhead.
be like
Be
a
an
low-
asshole, pretty much.
right, for this chick to like me or for females to like me and stuff
Some
like
women
that.
like getting mistreated.
Okay, some women do like that, which is very odd, but whatever.
And like that
floats
thing
your
of like,
boat.
I want to change him kind of thing.
It's, I think it's that complex as well as like, but that goes back to just wanting to protect them and wanting to like be this thing for them. When you don't,
That's
where
been
you don't,
ingrained in us though.
which is, and it has been, which is, I mean, something that we have to deal with as women, right? Because I'm not here to make you happy. I'm here to share happiness with you.
Yeah.
So
And also
that's
it's a
that.
self-worth thing too.
And that's
yeah.
a self-worth thing. And we already have to struggle with those things by ourselves by
Yeah.
showing up in the world as Black women anyway. I don't need you to be a dickhead. You wanting to be a dickhead is your business. What I don't want is a pussy either. Don't walk out this door unless somebody bump into your ass and you don't be like, hey, and raise your voice. You know what I mean? Like, but I think that person, I think that that's a very fine line for guys. I feel like showing up strong and showing up as a dickhead for guys is the same thing. I think that like if I have to be this bold, boisterous person out in the street, then you want me to be this bold, boisterous person in the house. And that's not true. I want you to show up strong, right? And I want if you go out in the street and somebody try you, for you to say something. The reason why is because if they try you and you don't say shit, nigga, if they try me, you ain't gonna say shit.
But I also think that if a man wants you, he's gonna do what he needs to do to respect you, to get you, and to do
Whatever
all of
it is.
that.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So if he's making the choice to disrespect, who likes being disrespected?
Nobody.
Unless I sat here and told you like that's my kink, curse me the fuck out.
Which is different.
want to be disrespected. I don't want, you're not going to come in the house, bitch, where my food at? Like, what? Like, I don't like
when
that.
I'm teaching, when I have to teach children about healthy relationships and dating, right? And a lot of them say, yeah, my mom said if a boy's mean to me, that means that he likes me.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of girls who
yeah.
grow up hearing these things, and they project it onto them to their experience in dating.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
it's
just
like
you have to change that narrative.
Girls, like if you hit the boy in class, like you keep hitting him, he thinks that you like him. That's not natural. You don't. It's not a normal thing. And I think that just especially being able to talk about those things transparently and to teach your kid, you don't put your hands on nobody. That's not. It's not normal to like that. If you like being hit, it's not okay.
Yeah.
It's also the household too, because if you grow up in a household where your father is disrespectful to your mother or treats her a certain way, you're gonna think that that's what a relationship.
That's what a
is.
relationship is.
Right.
So,
and that's not okay.
That's true. It's my turn.
That's your turn. It's your turn.
Okay. I got it. Okay. It says, is there a double standard when it comes to men dating multiple women versus women?
Absolutely.
You know damn well.
Because you already know, girl.
If you sit here getting, it's a lot of insecure men out here. You think you can do whatever you want, fuck a bunch of bitches. I just do whatever I want and do whatever I please. And then if you're getting offended by that, then that means that you're just insecure or something.
I agree, but then I also feel like it doesn't even have to be about a sex thing. It's just period.
Or
Like
dating.
anything that a woman do that a man feel like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, or but I can do it, it's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Because you know what, I think that's true. Because I think that there's definitely a double standard.
It's like, oh, I can have girlfriends, but then you can't have guy friends.
That's
control.
That's abusive.
Right. Yeah, because it's like it's
Yeah.
one of the things. Yeah, you look at like, oh, you have so many guy friends. You're probably sleeping with half of them and whatever. And
then you cheat on her with a hoe that.
Which is not true.
Nigga, bye. Nigga, please.
So is there a double standard? There is a double standard.
Hell yeah.
Is it sad? Yeah.
I feel like that's that's gonna last a lifetime. That's never gonna go away.
So next question is, why do women not shave in the wintertime?
That's not true.
That is not true.
I shave in the wintertime.
First of all, wax all year round, baby.
Yes.
So,
If I'm single, I ain't gotta be.
maybe person you must have with.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah,
you maintain it.
I maintain it, but like I'm not rushing to go. You know,
She said I'm not rushing. Okay.
But
if I'm single though.
Flo, you have no reason. You gotta shave, sis.
I really. I honestly feel like it depends on who your man is.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
That's
some
like
men
hair.
don't want it shaved.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
I like it
Her business
shaved,
is her business.
but if
Well, my
I feel
advice-
like I don't want to shave and he doesn't want it shaved, then my nigga, it's gonna be a foresty
All
place.
right.
like this is
Okay.
I mean, I just don't like it. So.
but I would prefer it shaved.
Okay.
It's just comfortable for us, like,
Yeah.
and better for other things for us.
Absolutely.
So, anyways, in general, not always, but in general, who wrote this?
Listen.
Why, as women get prettier, they get stupider? Who's hurt? These guys are very hurt.
I
I think this is personal.
I'm not gonna say who the questions are from.
Give us a hint.
No, because we didn't do that when the women asked the question.
Okay, wait.
That's
Because there was some
personal.
There were some personal questions in the men's episode too. So
Well, hold on. Why, as women get prettier, they get stupider? I'm telling you this. Whoever wrote this question,
I can't answer that.
this is very biased. Okay, so because this is just saying the women that you're around, somehow intellectually are not where you want them to be.
Okay, let me know, sis.
Not necessarily that they're not where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is extremely biased, and I'm very sorry that you're very hurt.
Right. No tea, no shade.
Oh no, plenty of shade. I want you to know that something's wrong with you. like just when women in general, right? When you go somewhere and people are like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God. And then you start to talk, and the problem is when you start talking too intellectually, they don't want to hear you.
Oh, thank you. I was just about to say
you're
that.
Pretty, you're pretty. You need to be quiet.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be this, that, and the third.
They get intimidated.
So what is stupider?
And I'm glad you said that.
Stupider
Paris
is
Hilton is
not a
an
good
example.
Not super.
So,
But I'm still like that prettier part. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still
Yeah, I don't know what that's about,
I'm
but
pretty. I'm pretty. I don't need to get
exactly.
pretty.
Unless it has to do with like makeup.
But even with that, even with enhancements, I don't give a shit if I went to go get a damn lip injections and an ass job and whatever else is out there in the streets. If I'm a beautiful woman, then I can be smart, and if I want to say some dumb shit, I can say some dumb shit.
Yes.
Like but my level of intellectual, like being intellectual, that level, wherever that level is not based off of how I look.
Mm.
And I think that a lot of guys get that mixed up.
Yes.
Like
yes.
if you're too pretty, right? They expect you not to know X, Y, and Z, who the senator is, and what laws are being passed, and this, that, and the third.
Absolutely.
Because the problem is, if you come into the room and you want to have these conversations, they say that you're an angry black woman,
You're
and that you're this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
They do not attribute it to your beauty. They attribute it to your skin color, which is odd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But for a dude, he'll look at it and be like, "Oh, she's pretty, but she's dumb."
And also, are you listening to me?
Uh-huh.
Are you taking what I say seriously? You know what I'm saying?
And I also feel like some dudes, like, you can say a joke, but they just don't get it.
Because they weren't even interested in listening to you in the
Exactly.
first place.
Right, you're like you see, like,
Yeah.
aside from the fact that stupider is not a word.
hilarious.
so
I wrote those questions for me. Okay, I got an English degree, y'all. I am a stickler for grammar.
He's gonna be cursing. Whoever that person is, he gonna be cursing.
Yeah.
No, he's not. Pull up. I know.
Okay, so let's get to this question.
Sean, you better excited about this question?
I think so.
Let's go.
I know what it is, but okay.
Sean,
I'm getting the good question.
Okay. So why won't women swallow when performing oral sex, but expect a man to when they're getting head? First of all, I would like to say you have no choice when you're giving head.
A woman head.
Yes. There's no choice. At the end of the day, it just comes as it goes. And you have to just you have to do what you gotta do. And for a man, first of all, sometimes money tastes right. It's just
That part.
But that's
diet is trash.
But that's a diet thing, and a lot of guys, this fast food and this
You see him swallowing
And
any.
not gonna say I have not done it. But if it's an all-time thing, no, it's not an everyday. Every time I'm giving head, I'm gonna swallow. No, and then you should not be swallowing anybody's cum.
That's true.
That's just no.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
we
you
don't
wanna be
be
nasty
swallowing
for your name,
everybody,
that's the
anybody.
difference.
Nah.
But just random ass nigga, no.
Yeah,
no,
that.
no, no.
Yeah, no.
But for that guys, I have no choice. That's just what it
But
is.
see, for me as a woman,
There's your double
I watch
standard.
So like, I will watch what a guy's eating, and from that, I'm like, I'm definitely not swallowing your cum. That's why I've never really swallowed cum until just recently. That I was like, all right, I'll swallow this person's cum. And it's also like that chemistry. Like if I really fuck with you,
Right. It is chemistry.
But it's also the
that.
diet too. Because if I see you eating mad fast food and all this shit, I'm not swallowing that.
I will piggyback off of this because we're older now, we're more mature, we're into our sexual beings. I will say this: when I was sexually active at a young age, I was not paying attention to what a man was. I mean, I knew that they were correlated, but I wasn't like, oh, the people that I was with that I did swallow their shit. I gotta block my uncle off of this post. Grown ass women, like, how Haitians are. But I for the guys that I did swallow, I will tell you this, like, there was like a type of taste, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I want to gag. You know what I'm saying? And but I will say that there was one. But there was other instances where it was just like.
But why?
What?
Like, here's the thing. Since we're being adults here, right? You also need to suck it till it's ready to swallow. Like you just some like right. You talking about sex, right? So you're having sex, you're second thing, and then you ready to just get on top. I'm not waiting for you to come. Nigga, what?
I mean, well, sometimes if you're,
I guess if you're just giving the guy a head,
if
right?
you're just doing
or he's
that,
about to come, he's like, oh, let me come in your mouth. Right?
yes. Okay, so that's the thing.
That
right.
I done like that a couple of times. Had like something on the side to spit it out.
Yeah, either one.
No,
I
I have no flashback. That's all I'm like.
So whoever's watching,
I'm
they know I'm sorry.
They even run into the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm spitting it out.
There was one time where I was just like, oh, this ain't it, and I pretended I swallowed, and I fucking spit that shit out like get the fuck out of here. Nah.
It's like the moment when he comes in, you just let it all fall out of your mouth. Like, you
Yeah. I mean, you gotta have a good diet.
Yeah, now, as adults now, you have no choice. And that goes for women too, because we are the same.
Absolutely.
Because all y'all bitches is eating pineapples off of Kim K and Kourtney Kardashian, so I eat the pineapples to make the pussy.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yes!
If your pussy stink, your pussy stink. The pineapples ain't gonna help it.
Exactly, because that's not just like, oh, let me just pop that shit the day before.
No, it's like a full diet.
Yeah, it's your full diet.
Full diet. Like if
And lots of water.
Yes.
If you do eat trash, then it's not gonna taste that great. It's just
Lots of water.
Which
not
niggas don't
good.
even be drinking. Jesus.
Ooh, there's grown people
Water.
who don't drink water.
Yeah, you don't have to taste it.
I feel like
Oh, Flo, I'm sorry, sis. All right, well, you want to know.
But that has nothing to do with my
Yeah,
diet.
this has, right.
My diet. Thank you.
Why are women reluctant to make the first move even when the ball is in their court?
My move be like this.
What?
That's my move.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you
first
telling
move during what though? Is it during
Yeah,
sex
this is
or
in
trying to get to know
general.
somebody?
Like if you find a,
You know, when
you
to shoot
guys
your shot, like
Yeah.
what? Like what are we
So-
talking about?
So
Just
let's
too
start
broad.
off. Let's start off with when you see an attractive man
Yeah.
and he's not approaching you, but you want him to approach you and he doesn't. So do you shoot your shot? Just like when you slide in DMs.
Yes, you should. You should.
should.
I mean,
No,
I would.
you just
I'm
look like the eye.
That's what I'm saying. You just look at
no,
them like.
fuck all that. Nah, man. Walk up to that dude and be like,
When I was younger, I did that a lot. When I was a teenager,
yeah,
early 20s, I always, if I saw a guy that was handsome or that I was like, well, this nigga fine, I did walk up to the dude. I'm like,
yeah,
yo.
like because it's
And we would
also
talk and I would bag him.
right. Like it's,
Now I'm just like, I'm tired.
like,
I've been doing this shit. Not to say that niggas didn't come up to me, yes, but I also shot my shot a lot.
right.
You
Like
know?
I feel like
Now I'm
as
just
I
like,
feel like as women,
I'm old.
you
Shit.
should. Yeah. I feel like as women, like you should feel empowered. Like you the one walking up. He want what you got.
True.
You know what I mean?
And
Like,
I want
I want what you got.
See,
Like,
that's the thing. Like I've always been like, I hate rejection. So,
Oh,
that's
that's
another
another
thing.
that
one.
was another thing for me where I'm like, yo, I'm not shooting my shot and I get rejected. Like no,
Right.
like I'm not doing that.
but you
So I
have
don't
to do
like
it.
rejection.
But
so
you gotta do
I
it in
just
a
don't
way.
Shoot your shot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think you should shoot your shot, but you gotta be strategic. You can't just shoot your shot, ladies. Come on. You gotta shoot your shot in a way that even if it was rejected, you wouldn't catch it and it wouldn't hurt your feelings.
Okay.
I don't know, because I'm scarred. Because I seen a boy on the bus. This was a long time ago when I was in college. And I was like, oh, he looks good. And I'm not the person to shoot my shot. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to write my number down. And I slid it to him. He ain't never called. I was like, that's it. I'm not shooting my shot.
I wouldn't see. But I'm more so of the conversation. I don't like. I wouldn't give my number because as fine as you think he's, I think it might be crazy. I'm not about to give my number.
Or got that bitches.
Right. Like I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be like just like a a notch on your belt. Like
Yeah.
so. As far as like to walk up and to walk up and start the conversation, I would be the one to walk up and start the conversation, or like just in passing say something. You know what I mean? Like, wow, he smells so nice, and then he'll turn around and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah. And then, you know, either you're gonna
And
start
then
the
from
conversation.
there, yeah.
Right, like you're either gonna start the conversation, you're either gonna catch what I'm throwing you, or you're gonna keep it moving. And if you keep it moving, that's fine. Because you did smell good, I complimented you, and I can go about my day.
And sometimes men are in relationships or they're dating somebody,
Right.
or they're just like, okay, I got 20 people on my roster. So it could be a number of things that doesn't equate to, whatever insecurity you might feel if a person shot you down. It could be like a slew of things that,
Right. It's
this
not just,
person,
it has nothing to do
or it could be a blessing in disguise that
he didn't
he, like you said, niggas is crazy out here.
I also feel like y'all teach me.
ego too.
Oh
Yes.
I think it could be ego. Sometimes you gotta check yourself. Like if you win some, you lose some, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That doesn't take away from your worth or who you are.
That is true.
Right.
Yeah.
Sis, shoot your shot. Okay.
Shoot it!
Baby.
I'm inspired.
You see all the girls that be shooting their shot. Look at the niggas they got.
Yo.
Yeah.
Shoot your shot.
And that's attractive. I heard they like that.
They do. Yeah. That's what they said in the
I
last
thought,
episode.
like, have you guys ever bought a guy a drink?
Yeah.
How about?
I
be drinking.
I be drunk.
Like on a date and stuff?
No.
just like a
Right,
regular.
No, like to shoot your shot. Have you
Oh, like,
ever
no,
bought a
no,
guy?
not yet.
Oh,
But
no,
you
no,
know, thank you for that, sis. Because that's all I'll do.
Never.
Because I have been out with a person
Right.
and we're vibing, like, you know, we're just hanging out, express,
And I brought him a drink.
whatever.
Whatever.
And we buy each other drinks, but
No,
to send a drink, to be like, oh, I want him.
Yo, no, what's up,
No.
No.
Yeah.
Send me a drink, but because it actually works. Like even if you've seen a movie, it might actually work.
I heard her try that.
I'm gonna try that.
I'm gonna try that.
Not even just
Love to be on tits.
I'm like, yo,
Hello.
boss at the
I think a man would be very impressed and intrigued, and that would pull him.
Like you could either you send the drink, or even if you're in conversation and you order the drink, and then when you're done with the conversation, okay, I'll see you later. Wait.
Uh-huh.
And then it's just like, oh, you.
Or I could be
you
like, Rick
want my
Ross and
number.
pop that Molly in there.
Like,
Like, okay.
Listen, if you reject me, I'm taking my drink back.
I'm done.
Thank you.
Like a bartender put on his tab, do not put it on.
Right, thank you. So, how come women are unorganized?
I'm
Right. I feel attacked. I feel very attacked.
I'm still in the process of learning to put things back, but I've progressed.
Okay.
With maturity comes more responsibility. And
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think
We're
by the
growing.
time we get to like 45, we'll be good.
I can't say because I am organized. So.
But I feel like they're more unorganized than us. Like, I feel like women are always cleaning up after men.
I mean, first of all, I'm unorganized. Sometimes I'm messy. It is what it is. But I'm in the process of.
But you know what? I feel like what kind of organized are we talking about? Because I'm like in organized chaos. Like I know where shit is.
I know where it is.
Yes. You know what I
It
mean?
could be a messy room, but I know where it is.
Yeah, like for me, right? Like, so I have like inventory stuff, and then I'll have like the boxes with whatever, right? And then Jeff would be like, "I've been looking for the tape," and I'm like, "Oh, it's in the bag. It's behind the box. That's like underneath." And he's gonna be looking at me crazy, and I'm just like, I know where it is, and as long as I know where it is, it's organized.
Yeah. Also, it's like when you catch me too. Like, what if I'm like in a little depressive state, or if I'm feeling lazy, or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you can tell my mood based on my environment. If I'm clean, that means I'm good to go. If I'm unorganized and messy, ask me if I'm okay. Because I might not. Oh my God, my soul is there.
And I be walking in her room like, damn, what's going on in here?
When I am in chaos and my brain is in chaos and there's so much going on, my room is gonna show that. So
Yeah.
I always say like my room is a reflection of where my mind is at.
Yeah,
If it's
absolutely.
clean for like a quick second, that means that I'm organized and I'm like together.
Focus.
But 9 times out of 10 it's in chaos because my brain is just like too much going on.
And
It's
you're working
also
on
just
that.
the way that we think, right? Like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not all over the place, but like I have there's a lot going on at the same time, right? Like you gotta run to do this and do this and do this and do this. So certain things reflect that.
Yeah.
Your life should reflect that. You know, like everything should reflect that. Something has to be organized. But it happens.
Yeah.
You just chill with the judgment.
Sounds like I should attack.
These questions, I was very surprised with some of these questions. Do women really? Y'all ready for this one?
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Say
You
it.
grab my pearls.
Grab them pearls. Do women really care about being side chicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I care about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm very stingy. That's a Scorpio coming out of me. I'm very possessive.
I
What
don't
about
even.
your side
But
chick?
that's but
I'm not sharing no
but-
dick.
Yeah.
right. But it's also
especially
like.
if it's good. You
But
know.
I also feel like so like let's go.
But remember,
Not a side chick situation.
you're meeting the man that's in a relationship.
Right.
So it's
So
about
have to understand the situation that you put yourself in. If you don't like being a side chick, then you shouldn't talk to married men. And you should not deal with men.
Okay, but niggas be finessing and lying too.
Yeah, but once you find out.
Well,
once you find out.
saying?
Well, you know what? I was a side chick once before, and it was once in a lifetime. But like by the time I found out, I was already invested. It was really hard to let it go.
So you stayed the side chick?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
When the dick is good, sometimes
A little bit, but then I left and I'm grown now.
That's it.
Okay.
I've been forgiven.
And that's good. But I'm just saying, like, you couldn't stay there, right?
I couldn't. No, it was not. Cause then it's like no.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Eventually, it's not gonna be okay with you. And eventually, for me, I feel like dudes don't even think about that. You're messing with this girl. She's a side chick. You like her, but you don't like her enough to like be like your main chick. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
that's why she's the side. But eventually, for her, she's gonna want to be more.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're giving her is not going to be enough. Even if you did this shit for 3, 4, 5, 6 years with this chick, eventually it's not going to be enough. And she's not going to feel fulfilled. Unless she don't give a damn about you. She has to not give a damn about you for real to continue to be a side chick.
But I do feel that a lot of men have a gift of the gab. So you're going to keep one just when you're about to ready to cut loose. It's like they draw you back in.
It's
So a lot of women
manipulation.
stay there for a long
But
time. And they're content with just a phone call, a date here or there, a fuck, real quick fuck, and keep it moving, and I'll see you whenever I see you. A lot of women are content with that, so you're going to stay.
But I also feel like there's women that are like, okay, I'm gonna get what I want from him. He's paying my bills. He's buying me food.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have to be in a relationship. I don't have to talk to him. So I'm gonna say I'm comfortable.
Right.
A lot of women are like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's just, there's different type of women. So like,
Yes.
and not to say that you're better or less than, you know, a main
It's just
chick
the
or
values are
whatever.
different.
Your
Yeah.
values are different. And not saying that you're less than, but you need to look within. Because you're worth more than that. You're worth more than a fuck. You're worth more than him just buying you food. You're worth more than those things that he's offering you. You know what I mean? So like, I think that as women, we have to level up when it comes to that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not your side bitch. Don't call me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like,
She ain't your side bitch.
I'm like, nah. So, this is cute. Why do women keep someone on standby just in case the relationship fails? Okay, so this is more of a roster situation. I see.
The
So,
whole
it's the same reason why. It's the same reason why guys, okay, have female friends that
Yes.
Y'all gonna get
y'all get the air quotes. Because there's nothing wrong with guys having female friends, right? Because I have friends that are guys, and there's never been any type of sexual, no flirting, none of that shit. Like, and that's possible. However, you have some guys that cannot at some point differentiate that. So like the flirting happens, and at first it's like something like maybe she'll catch it, maybe she won't, but eventually she will, and or vice versa and stuff like that. And now your friendship is not as friendship-ish as you think and stuff, and you become standby. So when that relationship fails, they call you. And now you're the one that give them the advice. You're the one that tell them to stay or leave or whatever. And they either gonna take it or they're not. So why do women keep it on standby? I think this is more of a security blanket.
Oh yeah.
Like, if my relationship fails, I have somebody that I can call. Same way for a guy, he has somebody that he can call. He's not gonna call his mom. Some of them do, and that's if you have a great relationship with your mom, or your dad or whoever. But if there's a female, guys always have a female that they can freaking call and just like, you know.
I don't like that.
I wish I did, because any nigga I had a falling out with, I never had somebody that would be like, oh yeah, I can call them. And
No, I don't
people take
have
me out.
that.
I never had that type of roster.
No.
It was just sad. Yeah, because niggas do that. They have that all the time. That one
Sometimes
female
you,
they can
besides you speaking to your man or besides you speaking to your family, you need that other.
Right, but I think that it's, I honestly, well, I don't believe in standby. I don't think that you should have somebody on standby. If you either in a relationship fully or you not. Like standby is literally if you are already in the whole like I don't know if this is gonna work.
One foot in, one foot out.
Yeah, that type of thing. Like you're not dedicated in a manner that you're talking about the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. You're literally on like a tightrope and you like if I fall off this bitch I do. like that type of thing. And which like when you talk about dating, that's really what it is. It's a tightrope. You fall off of it, you fall off of it. Eventually you get back on. Yeah. And so you have people on standby. When you talk about being dedicated into like I'm serious about this person and I want to spend the rest of my life with this person, you can't have standby.
No.
Because that security blanket is dangerous as fuck. Like you talk about somebody that can creep in one day, you having an argument with this person, and all of a sudden now you're talking to the other person more often. Now your relationship is
That's emotional cheating.
That's emotional cheating.
Yeah, and now they got a black eye.
Oh, well, yeah.
Next caller.
Next. So I like this question, but okay. So why do women expect men to pay for the first and second date? And if a man pays a lot, why wouldn't you expect him to want sex?
Well, because you're not a prostitute.
It's not on sale.
Like, if you're calling me out of my house, pull out your wallet. Pay for my meal. If I'm calling you out your house, I'm gonna pull out my wallet and pay for your meal.
But that's a mature thing to think about it. I think that as far as generation goes, right? We were bred to know that a man is supposed to take care of you. If you ask for me
that part too.
If you're a man, what the hell you mean?
Yeah.
Split the bill.
Don't you want to be a provider?
But I feel like that's what's wrong with this generation because men will ask the woman on a date and instantly expect, okay, well I paid this, I did this for you, so you know you should give me sex.
No,
why it has to be that way?
Right.
Why can't I be doing it genuinely, like I'm doing this for you, I'm doing that for you, and not expect anything at all?
Why
always the end result has to be sex. It don't have to
because
be
that's what they were taught too.
Yeah, it's a conditioning thing. I think that guys in general think about sex anyway. So I don't think it's tied to money or a date. When he see you, he want your number.
Okay, but
you're giving me your number so that I have sex.
But my thing is, if you
like,
have sex with me, you don't need to take me on a date. Just say you want to have sex with me, and if I'm on that type of time, then yeah, we can have sex. You don't need to take me on a date.
This is why.
But it's more so like just like humor me. That's what it is. Humor me. Take me out on a date. Buy me a drink or two or whatever, and you're humoring me. At the end of the day, you're stroking my ego. Because you want me to stroke yours at the end of the day.
Right.
First or second date, boo boo, it's gonna be way more dates than first and second.
But like we said earlier, everyone is different because we're speaking from like a personal experience and perspective.
I've paid for dates before.
And I have too. But my thing is, at the end of the day, right? Damn, did I lose my train of thought? I lost my train of thought, but regardless of the fact, or whatever the case may be, some women out there do give it up on the first date because you also got to think about the standard.
Even if we just did.
Hold on.
But that's because I wanted to.
Okay, I was gonna get there. I was gonna say differentiate between a woman who owns who she is,
absolutely,
and knows that her self-value and her worth is not tied to that. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm talking about for women out there who feel like they're obligated. That he took me out on a date. Shit, I think I might have to like give him a blowjob or fuck him or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about certain women who feel that they're obligated. Because I remember a few years back, I don't know if y'all remembered, when it was trending, it was like some guy asked like, oh, if I spent over $200 on a date, you gotta give me the pussy.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So it was just, and it was split into two because some people were like, and women were a part of that. They was like, yeah, if he's spending all this money on me, yeah, I'm gonna fuck him. And some, and some people
pussy's worth $200.
But then that's the thing, we equate.
No, but for real though,
but that's the problem, right? We equate sex with money, with basically with anything of monetary value,
But you shouldn't. Like if I think of it like this, just like you said. If you got my number and I'm on that time and you want this and I want this, then we gonna have this out. But I would not judge. I would not judge as far as like you if you actually put the time in with the person prior to your date.
Yeah, it depends on who it is you're dating.
Yeah, because like, you know.
I agree.
Well, I mean, if you take them down on the first actual date, that's not great, but it's not like, you know, damning either. I think that it depends on the dynamic. Like, if you know absolutely nothing about this person, you don't even know their last name, you don't know really where they work, like you don't know
met
shit.
the day before and y'all
right,
met
like
date.
you don't know
That's
shit
different.
about this person. You should not sleep with them. Honestly, like
But
just
people
on a
do
genuine
give it up
like
that.
They do.
And that's the thing, but
Like,
that's because I had to date with this person. I'm talking to them. I'm like, I don't see nothing else. I just see sex, and that's why I had sex with them on the first date because it was like, I just want to fuck you. That's it. Like I was on,
and that's okay because I feel like with
But you know what they
don't-
they
you
feel
know,
like
it's like not okay for us to just want sex.
Right.
It's like,
And that's
okay,
not-
you
that's
oh,
not-
you this, you
That's
that.
not
No.
true. That's
If
not
I
true.
just want sex, I want sex, and that's it.
I also want to acknowledge that sometimes men can be very intimidating too, and make you feel bad if you don't give in on the first date. And it's like I've heard so many stories where it's just like he gets violent or he gets scary because I said no. And that's something that needs to be acknowledged too. So sometimes it's for your own safety that you're like, I have to give my vagina up or else this man might hurt me.
Right. That's the thing. That's actually
It is a thing. Thank God I've never been in a
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Because I
Because
mean, just more
entitlement in men
is
are dangerous.
It's insane.
And it's real like high right now.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with your partner, what is the problem with having threesomes? Well,
Oh my God.
I will say that me personally, I'm not about to share a bedroom with the next bitch, and you about to be
At
giving it up
all.
crazy.
Yeah.
No, because the only person that's gonna be giving it up crazy is me. So
Yeah.
I'm not into threesomes.
I'm not into threesomes, but I also think because like me and Jeff have had this transparent conversation, right? Like you have to. There's a level of respect that a man might have for who he's with, where he's like, I don't want nobody else to touch you. Like, you know, not saying that if you do want threesomes that you don't respect your partner, but you also have to understand that you're inviting a third party in with all of their issues and all of your questions. All of their issues and all of their whatever they got going on, they're bringing all that into your bed.
And the energy.
And on that energy.
Yeah.
And that's okay for your partner. Like you want that person touching your partner and doing all that stuff.
Remember, a threesome doesn't have to also be a girl. It could be another man.
No, even if it's
Yeah, but a lot of
men
men don't even like that. You
So
know,
that means that the
I'm
threesome.
not saying. Let's not be biased
men come
here.
with issues too.
So that means that the threesome is mostly for you. You never thought of me and how I would enjoy it. This is mainly for you,
yeah.
and that's selfish.
Because a lot of men be like, okay, well, let's get a girl. But nigga, I'm not into girls.
Yeah.
How you think I want her touching it? No.
Okay, so we gotta go this time, and next time I'm getting a guy.
So can we get a guy? At least let it
No,
be.
no,
But not this. Yeah.
No, so that means you're being mad selfish. It was never about us. It was always about you. You wanted to live out your little fantasy.
Yeah.
No, and the next thing you know, like the little threesome becomes a twosome when you're not around.
What is that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I did. I read on
I'm
my
not
Instagram.
into
We want some
threesomes.
crazy.
Don't ask me.
For
It's
me,
not
I
happening.
just
I'm not into
when I really like somebody and I'm really connected with a person, like I don't want to share that intimacy
Yeah,
with
no.
a stranger.
I want
Right.
my money to myself.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you would be with someone who's sexually, someone
Free?
who likes sexually free, and then y'all would be able to. Do
All right,
this
so
together.
if you date somebody that's
Yeah.
like,
Right,
But
right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
It
But
depends
those
on who you're with.
relationships, I feel like that's how you end up in like what are they called?
Polygamous.
Oh, swingers, polygamy.
But
Yeah.
they have an understanding.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's if that's what you like, if that's the
Yeah.
dynamic that you like, that's the dynamic that you need to seek. Because you're gonna create friction, you're gonna hurt this person who like cares about you or
Right.
whatever.
But these are like questions
Right.
when you first meet people that
You ask.
you ask. Like, I'm not gonna
And
lie.
you
When
know
I
what?
was young, when I was in my teens and my early 20s, I was like, oh yeah, I would do a threesome. Like, I didn't see nothing. I'm like, yeah, if it's, and I would say like to the guys that I was talking to or dating, like, okay, if it's a guy, whatever, it's a girl, whatever. Like, we're gonna do a threesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as I'm older now, like, I don't care for it because I'm just like, I was more experimental when I was younger. So I was just like, okay, like, fuck it, let's do this, let's have fun. But now it's like, whatever.
But
I
also,
don't care.
if somebody actually do a threesome, don't do it to please the other person.
Oh hell no.
Please do not do it. I have known people who have done it to please their partner, and their partner ended up cheating with that same person.
That's
It's
why
not
I
even
forget
that,
about
but
it.
but also I have been told too that's like, oh, if y'all been together for a long time and you feel secure and you have that comfortability with that person, why not?
No.
Because it has nothing
No.
to do
Got
with
shit to do with shit.
No.
Right, like it has nothing to
I
do
want
with
my
my level.
man to myself.
Everybody,
Right, that has nothing to do with your level of security.
everybody is
I
everybody's sexual freedom, sexual whatever the fuck you want to call it, everyone has their boundaries, right? Has their limits.
Right.
There are people like we said earlier that are sexually free that
They
for
can
them.
handle that.
Like when you think about the hippies back in the 60s, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
they were free in all aspects because sexuality is not just the physical.
Yeah.
It's emotional, it's
Spiritual.
mental. There's a lot that goes into it. So you have to be literally free in all aspects that things like that, when you do meet somebody, it's not something that you're thinking in your head,
Yeah.
oh, this person gonna cheat on me with that
Right,
person.
right.
Because
Yes.
you and that person are sexually liberated. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right.
Sexual liberation.
Yeah.
So if you are not sexually liberated in every aspect of your being, then of course certain things is not gonna be for you.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right, right.
So
And
you
that's
know,
okay.
yeah, and that's fine.
Stop trying to finesse for
Exactly,
me that don't even like you.
And also stop trying to pretend to be something
Something
that
you're
you're not to
Right.
impress
Exactly.
your friends or
Right.
impress other people.
Because
because
he's
you
doing
think
that for
like
brownie points.
Yeah,
after.
Yeah,
I just got three
but girls be doing it too, because girls be jumping on the bandwagon. Oh yeah, I'll do a threesome, I'll do it.
And then
But I want to do a threesome because I thought that shit. I'm like, this shit sound like fun.
Right, but if you're not into something, you're just not into it. Like for me,
Exactly.
I'm just not into it. So like, it doesn't make me a bad person.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make you
But-
boring.
It doesn't make
Exactly.
you boring or whatever.
Exactly.
But like some females just think like, oh, you don't want to keep it spicy, man, nigga. There's a
It's
But that's
okay.
not
That's okay.
but it's not- that's not-
It's
but
a lot of
that's what I'm talking about.
Spicy. You
That's
like,
so-
you know, role play.
Yes.
But that's what happens.
Different
Yeah.
ways, like different lingerie.
Yeah.
Let's meet up in the hotel.
But
Let's
sexual
meet up in a
liberation,
hotel.
that's what I'm
Let's
talking
get to know
about.
each other.
Yeah.
Mentally up here, people think
Exactly.
one way, one
Yeah.
track.
Right, but I think it's more so of a conditioning thing, right? Because just as a generation, right? When you talk about pornography and all that extra stuff, all of it has to do with
Yeah,
multiple
niggas just watching that
people.
shit on
So you know,
Playboy.
right? So like, this is
They're
what
watching
they
the
know.
girl with the Tims.
Oh my gosh. You know how many men really think porn is the real life shit?
They do, but we ain't
That's
gonna get to that.
sad.
We're gonna get on a tangent.
All right.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
wait,
next
I can
question.
shout you out.
Yeah,
Oh, wait.
she has the next question.
Oh, shit.
I have one. It's her girl.
Do girls actually like dick pics? I like cum
Yes.
videos more than big. Yeah.
If you
Don't
send
send
me
me
a
a
dick
little
pic,
ashy dick.
if
No.
I fuck with you, send me a dick pic. I'm
Lotion,
good.
prepare
If it's
yourself to take a picture.
Yeah, I agree with you,
I just feel like if you are gonna send a dick pic, and it's just you just know what you're getting yourself into. You know, like
Right.
is it little, is it small? Do you wanna, you don't wanna be surprised when it gets to that point. You anticipating it, and then it's just like,
And when you're in a relationship,
You know?
you like I
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. I agree with Anik. Like, if it's
Yeah.
somebody I'm fucking with, yeah.
like,
yes, I always
Look
think
at
things.
this.
yeah, like that's
But don't randomly, like, you just got
Yeah, if
my
I don't fuck
number
with you like that,
and
you
you
said, 'cause
just
I
like
like
that
that happens to me.
Yeah.
Where it has, where it has been like no type of just like
conversation.
conversation.
Weird.
I'm not even
Oh my
looking at you
gosh.
that way, and I'll get the dick pic, and I'm just like,
No.
why are you sending me this? I'm not even looking at you.
I'm
like
posting
that.
on my Instagram now. Look at you, stupid.
No, that's
Yeah,
no.
that's
I-
So this question
the
is
doodle though. It's a little penis with a
so
princess.
You did that?
no, I didn't. Oh, that's probably Julian. Sorry.
You gotta get that out.
We can bleep it. We'll bleep it. Star will bleep
Yeah,
it.
I'll be there.
What's the breaking point in a relationship? Oh,
Lying,
Cheating.
cheat,
Cheating.
Every
Wait,
single
let's go.
Like-
Hold on before we start spewing shit. You know, so
Well, you wanna go first since it was your question? Since you
oh,
picked it?
so the breaking point for me in a relationship is I find out that you're on the down low. That's one, because I do not like dishonesty in that form. So
Yeah.
that right there, I'm killing you. And if we have kids together and I find out you're on the down low, somebody don't even bail me out because take care of my kids. That's one. Two, if you steal from me. If you steal money from me, it's a done deal. You can ask me, like, babe, I need this, whatever. I'll gladly give it to you. But don't go into my bank account with my debit card or the bank. Three, what's the third one? If you
Pedophile? I know you.
Oh,
did that.
pedophile, yes. If you're matter of fact, let me scoot that to number one. If you are a pedophile, or you touch my child, that's another, I'm catching a case. So those cheating, cheating is like the fourth. But the top three, pedophile, or rapist, if you're a rapist, that too. So those are for me. That is done. You might die. I might go to prison for 20 years of life.
Yeah.
Who wanna go next?
Especially if kids are involved.
All of those.
Yes,
Definitely.
all of them.
I feel like
all of that.
all of those. And those are like the top, like, you know what I mean?
Top notch.
And then, I mean, really, it's just, I mean, just like you said, it's just really more so of like the lying or whatever. Like, because your relationship should be based off of transparency and communication. And if the person's not communicating, and then on top of not communicating, my nigga, you're not even transparent. Like, you can't even be honest with yourself. Because my mom always taught me, like, you're not lying to me, you're lying to yourself. Like, you know what I mean? You have to face yourself at the end of the day. And if you're lying to me, I mean, shit, what else you gonna do out in the street?
That's
true. That's the breaking point, I think. I think once you get to the phase of you feel like you have to lie, your relationship is over. I was also told in like the 7th grade, it was like the last day of school, my teacher was just like, if you didn't learn anything, know that if you are in a relationship with somebody and you argue with them nonstop, your relationship is over. So and that's and like so
damn.
Right.
Teacher dropping jam. Where that teacher at?
And I was in the 7th grade. Like, it was just more so to know, because we were going into high school or whatever. So many times you think you're just like, I don't want to be with this person forever. Your relationship is over when the communication stops.
Oh, definitely.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
right. So and you mess around if you ain't never had communication, you was never in a relationship.
There's no foundation. Yep.
Right. There's nothing to fall back on. But that's the realest thing. Like, because so many times you can sit there and you can argue with somebody and argue and not even realize that all you've been doing is arguing until you get tired of it. But you shouldn't get tired of something. You should be able to realize that something is actually happening to be like, okay, hold up. So that's the break.
I was gonna add, I agree with everything that you said, but I was gonna also add being an alcoholic, because I've had experience that, and that was my deal breaker, where it was like I don't mind my guy drinking, but when it comes to a point where you are so drunk that you don't,
or drug addict,
that's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. All you guys said what I wanted to say. Also to putting your hands on me.
Oh,
yes.
I
forgot about that.
Don't do that.
Domestic violence
will not be tolerated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna bust you in the fucking head.
Just any kind of
kick down the door, waving the floor.
What about you, Sha?
All of the things, but I don't like cheating. I don't like that cheating and lying. That's definitely a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
And respect. I'm big on that.
Yeah. So. All right, so we're going to go back to the sexual conversation. What is good, great, and bad sex to a woman?
Well, go ahead, answer, sis.
So, I mean, good sex is just like, you enjoyed it, it was good. Yeah. Great sex is orgasm on both parts.
Nice.
Bad sex.
Have a bitch in love.
Right, great sex has a But bad sex, I would think, just like there's no chemistry.
Yes.
Cause like so many times you don't even realize like you be sleeping with a dude and it's just like
it's the lie.
You just be laying there like
And you can have a big dick, but the chemistry is
like if the chemistry is not there, that's bad sex. And if there's nothing to talk about after, it was probably bad sex.
Or there was no communication as to him trying to figure your body out, trying to learn, trying to make sure you get where you go.
Right. Or even just vice versa. Like if a dude can't really talk to you throughout it and just kind of
not even that, but I feel like a lot of people have a problem with expressing what they want and how they want it. Like, a guy could be giving you oral sex and you may not like it, but then why are we so scared to say, hey, you know what, can you like move up and move to the side a little bit? Or like, do something. I don't know why we feel like we have to be hush hush about it, but I feel like there needs to be more vocal. It definitely needs that, especially if it's someone new.
But guys are very vocal on what they want.
Because it's different. Society,
okay,
the society.
Like, hold up.
It is. It's
Yeah,
true.
no,
The
it's
way
true.
society
Because,
built
women, right?
up the
Like,
man.
if you like, because
We're not supposed to experience sexual, like, we're
you
supposed
should
to be
enjoy it. Like,
none.
as a woman, you're just kind of like there to just be there,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to
We're
enjoy
here for
it.
procreation.
Right.
That's how it was.
Right.
back then.
But I also feel like they built it on the sense of like, as a woman, a dude shouldn't have to tell you. Why should I have to tell you what to do? You should, if you that great, you should know. But that everybody's body is different.
Exactly.
Like learning.
Right. You have to
What
learn
this-
somebody.
what she would do is something I probably won't
Yeah.
do. If
Right.
that's something that pleases you, let me know.
Yeah.
Or maybe
You know?
you want something that's just a no. You know, and then you need to, and it's better to know, because like, you know, I'm not gonna talk about myself. There's some girls that are willing to do other things that other girls are not.
Right.
And if you don't communicate that as a dude, then you're wasting your time, because you can mess with this girl and love this girl, but your deal breaker could be like, maybe, you know, if the girl don't eat your ass, you know, girl.
I was thinking that.
It's crazy out here.
They like certain things, but because of society,
They
shun it.
shun it. They won't say it. However, if you with a girl that don't eat ass, but you like your ass eating, you're gonna have a problem.
Wait, hold on. Let me just answer the question. That question. So bad sex, like you said, I agree. No chemistry, and it's just like a complete
That's
disconnection.
bad sex.
Good sex is like, yeah, you know, it was good.
Like that was good. Like
it
it
was
was
good.
Like it was good. Like it wasn't bad. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have bad to say.
Yeah, like, it was good.
Like good size. Like I wasn't, you know,
Great sex is like
orgasm.
along with the orgasm is passion.
Yeah,
Like the
Chemistry,
passion,
connection.
Right.
like everything
Like
included.
everything.
Like
From
passion.
start to finish.
I'm thinking about that shit
Yes.
the next day.
Yeah,
Yes.
like flashbacks. Yeah.
I'm in a group chat telling my friends like,
Yes.
I'm in love. Exactly. So
Right, that's great.
because
Yeah.
passion is a very like huge part
Right.
as well.
I also think that you would know, right? Because like when you have great sex, like the dude, for whatever reason, like it's the way that he looks at you.
Yes.
Like afterwards, he just be
Talks
like,
to you,
he-
you know.
right? Like
you know.
sometimes they just be like so speechless. Like they
you
just
know
be
when
like,
you're tired afterwards. So.
Yes.
Right.
You get that good old nap, you know, put it down. You put it down.
Do you answer it?
Yeah.
Come on, say other questions. Come on.
I feel like I'm gonna be honest on this podcast.
Well, we're very
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
but it's up to you. Whatever you want.
I've never had an orgasm from a guy before,
Mhm.
and I faked it a lot. I feel bad for that because I'm like, damn, I didn't like speak up,
Right.
and it's just like I've had guys doing things. I'm just like, that's not my clit. Like, how do you not know where my virginity?
Niggas was
That
not paying
goes-
attention to
but
biology.
But listen, that goes to show you where us women, I feel like sometimes we're afraid to speak up with what we
Yeah.
Because
want.
we cater to satisfy
Not
the
only
man.
that, but a lot of people don't understand there's a lot of percentage of women that cannot get an orgasm through penetration.
Yeah.
And it's it's
But I've had
total.
my pussy.
Right.
I've had the nigga call me complex because I need clitoral stimulation while being penetrated. He was like, you're doing too much.
No, that's not
And
good.
I was just like,
Fuck, I like.
what are you talking
Honestly,
about?
I would've been like,
I'm
if
just
you're-
saying, they watch all these pornos where bitches and niggas be doing crazy shit, but in real life, you over here telling somebody you're doing too much. What are they doing in porn?
Honestly, your response should have been like, you're not doing enough, which is why
You're not
I
doing
need you to get off of
anything.
me.
He used to be like getting it in. I just be looking at him like, this nigga having a ball.
And
If
it's
you
nice.
be
And
done, like-
sometimes you can like, I can't speak for everybody, but if I get head, I'm good with that. I don't need no penetration after.
I know people like that.
I'm ready to
I know
go to
people
sleep.
like that.
I'm ready to drink my wine, and I'm good.
Because
But
women
if
get
it
cut
does,
off. Yes.
Yeah.
I know
if it
women like
does,
this.
you know, extend to that situation, then hey. But not a lot of people need to educate themselves because not a lot of women has orgasm through penetration.
Mhm.
Right.
And you know, sometimes you may get that lucky guy that may hit a spot and may
Right,
take over,
right,
but
right.
it is what it is.
But you
Right.
But
also,
most of the
everything-
time,
Yeah.
just get
And
head.
it's annoying. Like after he's done, mad, happy, and I'm sitting here
You're
like,
a bum, whoever you are.
Honestly,
Go learn something.
I was just like her, where it's like head was the only thing that would make me come. And I remember there was this one guy who really was trying his
fucking
best.
cheated.
But there was one guy in the past who really thought like, oh, I'm gonna be that guy. Cause I'm honest with guys, like I don't really come with like penetration. Like orgasm is usually with head.
Yeah.
So he wanted to take on that challenge, and he thought he was doing something. And I'm like, I was lying. I was like, yeah. But I'm like, no.
you can't lie.
And then, you know, for me, I was like, this is who I am. This is my body.
But
That's
I
what
think
it
that's
is.
also we lie because we wanted to be over with. Well, you're just kind of
But I met that one guy who got the wrong.
Yeah, no, for real. Because you get to a point where you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's and that's not every time.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes. But you got to be real with the person. Like, if they're not doing what you like, then you have to be able to say that, like, hey, whatever. And there's ways to do it nicely. Like, you don't gotta be about it. You don't gotta be humiliated. You don't have to humiliate the person, like, because being naked, both of you guys being naked is you're in a very vulnerable state.
Yes.
So I would not advise being mean or like making the person feel bad while you're naked when anything can happen to you.
Sometimes it's a time or place. I feel like communication about sex is very important.
Right.
And a lot of us, I said, we're scared or we feel embarrassed or some people feel intimidated about talking about that topic, but I feel like I need a topic that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that
it's just something new for the both of y'all.
Right. And also not talking about it while you're having sex. Have the conversation when you're not having sex, when everybody's fully clothed, sitting down and sober, and have these conversations so that it's like you're getting my real authenticity, I'm getting your real authenticity, and we don't have to like make this weird.
Yeah.
I feel iffy about that because then it's like, then I'm wasting my time. So I'm just gonna have to wait till you finish coming for me to say what I needed.
Right.
I understand that, but also I feel like with communication, you can communicate all day, but is a person comprehending what you're saying?
I haven't said that because I was going to end it on this, is we have to take the time to learn that person's body. So when you're having sex with this person, you need to be, you're enjoying the moment, but also learn their body. Like, okay, if I do this, I notice that this person tense up, or this person enjoy it, or they moan more. Right. And that's important. And not a lot of guys do that.
They don't.
So,
you next, Shaw.
But shout out to the nigga that finally made me orgasm through intercourse.
Shout out.
Let's watch this episode.
Well, alrighty then. Okay. What are women most attracted to aside from looks?
Your brain.
Your brain.
I would like to actually work.
Yes. Your ambition.
I need to know what your
your
thought
ambition.
is.
Your respect.
Yeah.
What is your 5-year plan? Like, it's a lot of things that go into that just besides looks. Somebody could look good, but then you speaking to them, they look very ugly.
Oh my gosh.
You understand what I'm saying?
Your soul is trash.
It's just like something about them that turns you. I get turned off very fast.
Integrity.
So, it's like, what is it? You know?
I think integrity and I think integrity. I'm just gonna stick there because that speaks volumes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your morale speaks volumes. If you will put your morale to the side to just get a quick dollar or like whatever it is, then that's how you're gonna move on other levels of your life, and that's gonna show.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably like the sexiest thing, like a job with integrity.
Because I've met a lot of guys who look really good, and when I have a conversation with them, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah.
And then they just look
Their thought
regular
process.
after that.
Yeah. Their thought
Because
process.
they're so used to like, I look good.
And they bank
I
on
could
that.
just
Yeah,
do whatever.
And they start talking to you and be like, my man's.
And they meet and they meet the woman or various women who exactly. And then when they meet that one person who doesn't entertain that
Or
shit,
challenge
then
them.
it's exactly there's challenges.
And
Then,
then
it's like, oh,
You're like,
wait.
oh, so what do you like to
Something
do?
wrong with you.
What do you
Right.
want?
They
You
project it
know?
onto you.
But
Like,
it's either, but one or two things could happen. He could either be on some like, oh, something wrong with her, because the same reaction is not the same by everybody that he gets, or he might be intrigued, and he might be on some like, oh, I want to see what she about, and then you can reveal to him, your brain doesn't work normally, and you need to
put him
level
on
up,
some new shit.
and you put him onto some new stuff, and that might make that person a better person. At the end of the day, whoever you're with should make you better.
Yeah.
You should want to be better because of and level up, like,
Right.
you know, because of who you're around and stuff like that.
For me, I feel like spirituality is very important for me because the way life be testing you, if you're not headstrong and you're not praying and you're not centered and grounded and keeping your mental health good, then we can't have a conversation. We can't really vibe at all.
I agree with that because you have some people that are atheists. They don't believe in nothing.
Oh.
And it's like, you know, how are we really vibing? You know?
What keeps you grounded when you're upset, or what pushes you to keep going? You have no positive source that you hold on to.
Yes.
But I mean, in that case, it's just one of those things. Like when we say to each his own, it really is to each his own. Like if you are an atheist, and then you need to mess with atheists. Like if that's what you're on, like whatever you're on, that's what you need to deal with. And that's the same thing with guys. Like you know, so many times, right? Like you get a dude. I'm example. This is a good example. You get a guy, right? Regular job. You know. And, you know, a lot of guys probably think, like, if I have a regular job, why can't I date a chick that's like a lawyer that's making like 6 figures? Like, why?
Child.
That's
a whole different mindset.
Wait, right? Like,
Sorry, y'all.
they think, like, you know, they want to know, like, you know, like, why is it shamed if I make X amount of dollars and she makes X amount of dollars? Like, why can't I pursue her and stuff? And it's not saying that you can't. You need to be able to provide for her, like, highly on other levels, because monetarily she surpasses you. You know what I mean? If you don't have the bread to buy her the house, the car, the whatever it is besides materialistic things, if you can't take her on a trip to Dubai for a month, then my man, you need to be able to provide something else. So, that's what I mean.
That's funny that
it's the God in me.
I feel like this next question kind of is a follow-up of, like, so it says, why do women switch up so fast? 1 week they like you, then the next they hate you? I mean, hate is a strong word, but
I guess
I would just piggyback off the other question. Like, I can like you, and then after having a conversation with you, I could just be like,
turn off.
I'm turned off.
Not even. I get turned off very quick. Speak of same. Like I just get turned off. I like you so much. I can even love you, but I'm just like, I'm not feeling you today.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, and we are allowed to have these feelings because we are labeled crazy, mad black women. We are allowed to have these feelings, and it's okay.
Right.
We don't always have to be okay with being okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just that.
Right. I mean, same thing for the guys. It's not. I feel like, you know, like, it's okay for us not to be. It's okay for them not to be. Okay.
Absolutely.
You know, and society tells them that they need to be this.
You guess this.
And then society tells you that you need to be strong and you need to be this and can't cry and this, that, and the third. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to portray those things.
Especially to
You
men.
can still be strong and cry.
Right.
Yes.
But you need
I think crying is sexy for men.
Right.
Show me emotions. I think
Right.
that's
Exactly.
Right. You don't want you to be. We also don't want you to be a crybaby.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
Like,
I don't mind
a guy crying if it makes sense. If it don't make sense, now I have a problem.
Then I'm looking at you like, what?
Like,
But it could be
Right.
that's probably
something else is
It
going on.
depends. It depends.
Yeah.
I think that it's if you get a dude that's crying all the time, one of two things is either he's trying to play you, okay? Because some dudes, they play off of the emotions. Like if she see that I'm crying and I'm emotional, or she
Manipulative.
that I'm hurt and stuff, maybe she'll take it a little easier on me. No. like it needs to,
Yeah,
it
but
needs
not
to
only
make
that,
sense.
I feel like mental health is a real big thing,
Especially
especially
for
black men.
Oh my
Especially
gosh.
black men, like for instance, that they can be crying and think like, what the fuck? But it could really be a mental health issue. Maybe
And it
they're
could be
going-
dangerous
Yes.
to all parties involved.
And you know, I feel like even myself or a lot of women, we don't really pay attention to men's mental health, and I feel like that's something that needs to be, you know, speaked on. And
I think it's very, courageous for you to acknowledge that because, like, sometimes we need to take ownership of our part that we play in it.
Accountability. Yes.
And also, too, I think that, like, black men really get to therapy. Please get to therapy.
It's important.
Right.
Because sometimes we overlook it, and I have overlooked it. I have overlooked it in the past. So now me knowing moving forward, I'm like, okay. Now you need to pay attention to certain things and maybe to have better communication or maybe you need to talk more or just ask the person if they're okay. Because sometimes we go through life like, okay, he fine. You know, he going to work, he good, he got all his friends here, right? But sometimes you got to be like, yo, babe, you alright? You good? Like, let's talk, let's have a conversation. And, you know,
Instead of
sometimes
saying,
you
are you
overlook
okay?
that.
How's your mental?
I'm overlook that.
Also,
But breaking those things down and really feeling just as vulnerable as they feel, to feel that vulnerability with them, so that they understand that whatever position that they're in, that you can come down to their level, right? Like, or not even come down, but just more so like you can really sit there,
not
with
just
them,
them,
and not just
But
them,
also
and
too,
sit in that with them.
I learned too, because this was my experience. of dealing with a man that was so hurt that even words like trigger or acknowledge triggered him. And he was like, this ain't no fucking therapy session. And I'm just like, what's going on? So like him acknowledging his feelings was like dangerous for him. And he would speak violently. And it's just like, okay, so you have a more deeper rooted issue.
Yeah.
But then that's what I'm saying. You don't want
no domestic violence here.
We're not.
We're all healing. It's extremely important,
Especially me.
Get therapy. And also too, a lot of niggas like their whole sex life is just based off molestation and statutory rape.
Yeah.
And they're taking so much pride. Yeah, I got pussy when I was 13.
Yes.
Bitch, you are raped.
Exactly.
And you didn't handle that.
Yeah.
Because it's affecting your sex life and it's affecting your relationships.
Right. But I mean, it's because like they're over sexualized so early. Because it's like you're not a man if you didn't have sex at 12.
Look at little Boosie getting his 13-year-old son dick sucked by an old ass woman.
Child.
What the fuck? You're a dick.
That's
Little Boosie got his son
This is like months
for his
ago.
13-year-old birthday. He hired a prostitute and she sucked his dick in a room full of grown ass men and they all were cheering him on.
Why is he not in jail for that?
I don't understand. But
Where's the mother and why she's? But that's
the whole.
that's
Just get help. Go
It's
ahead.
not okay.
Go to
At
therapy.
the end of the day, it's just not okay. And then it's more so of just like, if you know how we always talk about like breaking generational curses and like changing the trajectory of our families and stuff like that. It starts with those things because it's those things that will change our entire life.
Right.
You don't want your son to be a hoe, sleeping with 7, 8 different girls, getting all these girls pregnant, then you don't get his dick sucked at 13 years old. Because you over sexualize him and now he thinks it's a thing. Now it's a good thing for me to have sex with women early in age, and then when I get these girls pregnant, what I gotta take responsibility for?
Or you enable him. You every girl you bring in the house, hey, trying to be
right.
She knowledge. Stop bringing bitches in my house.
But it's not even just that. Like it's always
not so helping mom.
But it's always pinned on. It's always pinned on us as women. Like, she came her short with her shorts that's too short and her.
She's the fast one.
Yeah, she's the fast one. When really, it's both. It's like, yeah, she brought her shorts are too short, but your son is over here feeling on her and this, that, and the third. Where did he even learn that? Where did he even know to think that that's okay?
Right.
Because all these things that our kids do, it's learned behaviors.
Yeah,
absolutely. And you know, yes, your kids should see affection in the household, but there's levels of affection that they should not see at an early age.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like your 12-year-old shouldn't see your man putting his hand up your skirt and shit like that. Like that's not affection.
Yeah. So this question, I don't really know, but how many years of dating do you expect before expecting to get proposed to? Me personally, I feel like love is love. You might meet someone tomorrow that make you fall in love in like 24 hours. It really depends on the
Wait, say the question again?
How many years of dating do you expect before you expect to be proposed to?
3 years. If that's 3 years, I'm not dating you for 20, 15, 40 years, and then you propose to me.
Well, I don't know.
And it also depends on when you start dating that person.
I agree.
If we're high school sweethearts, then obviously I'm not expecting you to propose to me in high school, and you know, or if we're college sweethearts finding ourselves. Obviously, everything has a different time.
Yeah.
Some people it works. Some people it works.
Yeah.
Some people doesn't. But me right now, at 32 years old, I'm not dating you for 10 years, and you propose in 10, 15 years later.
I'm gonna piggyback off of you because, especially if
We
you
gonna
guys,
get to you. We know you about to walk down the aisle. We gonna get to you.
I want to piggyback off of you is because I do also think I agree with you 100%, but I also think it's also like if you guys had that conversation, like, yo, I see you as a person I want to be with, vice versa. And y'all planning this future. I should not be waiting 5, 6 years to be proposed to. Like, we already had the discussion. We already know that this is what we want. Why am I waiting this long to be proposed to?
And I agree with that, but just to piggyback off of you guys, it's just, my thing is that even though it's a timing, it's just that I feel like us women, we've been programmed to be like, all right, my nigga, like, damn, it's 3 years, I got proposed to her. Damn, like, no, I want it to come from the heart. But, like, feel. Like, damn, I couldn't live without this person. I want to be with this person for the rest of my life.
So then it shouldn't take you that long to know until you want to marry that person.
And that's what I'm saying. If you guys have that conversation.
Have the conversation. Also, definitely sometimes you gotta light a fire on the nigga ass.
Yes.
They'll sit around and be complacent with everything that's going on.
Exactly.
No, we're not doing that. So
if marriage is for you, so
and that's the end result.
I'm okay with having that sort of
connection. Because me, I'm okay with marriage, and I'm just like, but then you just never know. But
that's like what Tamara Mori, when she was talking about like her situation with her husband now, and she was like that it got to a point where she was like, all right, like what are we doing? Like I want to be married, and you like this is not what I want, and they broke up, and then obviously for him it was like, well, I really want to be with this person, but for her, she knew what she wanted, and it wasn't like I'm forcing you. It's like, look, this is what I wanted. You don't want this, I'm out, kind of thing. So it's not like a force. It's not even because I don't even think she gave him an ultimatum. It was just like, this is what I want.
I mean, what's the difference anyway? If y'all living together, y'all have kids, y'all names on the same stuff. Like, what's the difference besides that license, besides that paper? Like, well, let's just get it done.
We're gonna ask her right now.
Let me
go ahead. Go ahead.
To your point. To your point, it's a responsibility. Right? It's a responsibility thing. Because imagine that you live with a man, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all been dating, y'all got kids or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And y'all been living, y'all been together, we're gonna say 8 years. Mm-hmm. Let's do 10. And let's do 10. Let's do 10. Yeah, even better. Because that's Because I feel like a lot of females have fallen into the situation, right? Absolutely. 10 years in a relationship with this man that you have kids with, and he has a pension. And and your name is not you're not married to him, so your name.
So you don't get that pension.
No, why would you get? You're not married.
Yeah.
You're not married. His closest kin, his mom, his sister, one of them. Yeah, like God forbid something happens to this man, they're gonna get it unless he put your name on it. But why would he put your name on it? I'm not married. And even if he told you he put his name, are you sure that your name is on it? Like, and marriage is, there's a level of responsibility that comes with marriage that I think that when it comes to a guy being slowful to propose and do all this, it's the responsibility. It has nothing to do with the last name, because give me your last name, shit, they don't care about their last name like that anyway. Like, you take it, you don't take it, whatever. For some guys it's very important. But it's like, it's a level of responsibility and knowing that that's on their back, because you have to remember, when you're married, everything as a man, believe it or not, falls on you guys. You could see, you could think that it's not, but because if the world starts falling, she's gonna turn to you and she's gonna be like, I'm gonna need you to do what you need to do, to carry us as a family, to do whatever. There's a level of responsibility that comes with that, and a lot of guys are very slowful because of not wanting to take responsibility in life, period. So it's like, why would you get married? Like, what? Like, I don't want to do that. But you can turn around and keep having kids. And it's also easy access to leave. If I'm not married, I can walk out this door tomorrow and I don't gotta, like,
divorce papers, go through lawyers.
It's a process to like leave legally with somebody versus just emotionally. Emotionally, a couple years, a couple months, I'll get over it, whatever.
Now you have kids.
No, it's
not the union.
Well, the actual union of somebody. You know what I mean? Like, and that's because so many people are like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. It's not just a piece of paper.
Because there are financial and legal aspects that come with it.
Right. Like, you're talking about an entire empire. Like, that's what a marriage is. It's an empire. Whatever you decide to build it, build it big, build it small. And that's just what it is. Mm-hmm. So, and that's if you decide to build it. And being in a relationship with a man that's ready to even take that step. And I think it comes with, like, you shouldn't put a time frame on it. However, where you are in your life, you need to deal with somebody that's on that same wavelength. Mm-hmm. Because we mess around as women and fall in love with these dudes that are not on that same wavelength.
It's true.
Like, oh, I'm still in love with him, but he's not gonna get married in like 5 years. But your cap is 3. So 3 years hit, he's not ready to get married, and you know what the fuck happens? He gets married in 2 years to another chick. And all the work that you put in, and all this stuff that you taught this.
What was that movie with Taraji?
Oh, acrimony.
Yeah, her.
But you know what?
We're not gonna go down that road.
Because she was a little, her character was quite crazy. But it was a waiting thing because she was already married to him. You also have to see whatever it is that's in your man.
She was paying for his vision. That's a lot.
Like she was paying for his vision, and that is a lot. But guess what? Either you gonna stick with it or you're not. Mm-hmm. And if you decide not to, you need to be ready for those repercussions when that vision does come to pass.
As soon as she left, he did.
Honestly, I feel like
and
marriage could fall under also like when people talk about religion. Like some people, marriage works for them, and some people don't. I know people who've been with each other for years and they're not married, but they happy. And just like if a married man had he stepped up and everything he was doing. In this relationship where they're not married, he's still doing above and beyond the same exact thing.
Well,
but it's just the paper that's separated. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a touchy subject because you have people that's like, oh, I ain't married. Some people's like, yeah, I'm happy with him without it. You understand what I'm saying? But it's all about that conversation and communication.
Right. Our marriage is more so what you make it when it comes to that aspect. Like, it depends on what you believe in. For me, I'm not saying that I'm going to get married in the church, but I need to be legally binded to you in front of God. Because, period. Like, I don't want to, none of this, we slept together, so we married. Because if that was the case, my nigga, I've been married. Because that's, some people really do think that. They think that if you sleep with somebody over and over again and you're, like, playing house because that's what you're doing and stuff like that, then you're married. No, you're not. Because if the police come knock on your door when you're married, they cannot legally take you and tell you to what is it?
To testify. Yeah. You can't testify against your spouse.
You cannot testify against your spouse. My nigga, if y'all not married, hello.
There's
something right there on that stand.
I wanted to piggyback off for her. No, go ahead. Say your point.
No, it'll be short. Just what you were saying earlier, that's another example of when you said that marriage is not just a piece of paper. It's also like when you, like people who are in a long-term committed relationship versus a person who's in a marital relationship. If this person is in a hospital, your significant other, and they ask legally for somebody to make a decision, because by law you're not recognized, they're gonna go to the next of kin.
So
versus your mom, whoever's alive, that's your next of kin.
Right.
And if you are legally married, they go to your husband first.
Right.
They don't go to your mom. They don't go to your dad or your brother or your sisters or whoever. They go to your husband or your wife.
Right. And the thing is,
so there's a lot of legalities.
Like knowing, like for in my personal life and stuff like that, knowing that when it comes to like the medical system and how that works, it's a very dangerous game to play.
Absolutely.
It's a very dangerous game to play as far as like being in the hospital with your partner is on a freaking ventilator and they're talking about we gonna call his mom.
What?
Huh?
But that's why I wanted to piggyback off of what you said.
So it's like if you I would always suggest it. Like be married. Period. Like I'm his wife. You I
agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Because I hear a lot of people always say, like, oh, it's just a piece of paper. Like, why do I need to get married? But me, and I'm going to get a little personal, like, my grandmother was in that situation where my grandfather was married and he left his wife. They were separated. Not legally separated. They just separated. He did his own thing and he moved on to my grandmother. And when he died, my grandmother had no rights. His wife had the rights for everything. She took everything from them. So my mom and their siblings, they grew up with nothing because she, on paper, was his wife.
Yeah.
And my great-grandmother told her, like, you need to get married. You need to, like, your name needs to be on there because God forbid something happens to him, you're screwed.
Right.
And she took everything.
Right.
The money he left for them,
legally was
hers. It was hers. So even though it says like in my will I'm giving it to my kids, she took everything. So that's why I'm like, so I'm like, it's not just a paper. Like it's really important, especially if you see a future with this person, because like you said, if your spouse is in the hospital and y'all not married, they're not going to you. They're going to the next kin. They're going to the parents, to whoever.
I mean, it might. This is like.
And what if they don't have a good relationship with their family?
You're screwed. Like they not
screwed.
When I tell you.
But if you don't have a good relationship with his family, you can't make no decisions.
Exactly. By law, you can't make any decisions.
So what happens?
But you got his kids or not.
That the family's gonna say pull the plug, and you over here like I'm praying to God and I'm believing God for this, that, and the third, and they're gonna be like, well, we're believing on this check, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna
Exactly.
and we're gonna continue on with life, and we just gonna
he gonna be very 6 feet under, and
that's
that's
when
when
you
you
gotta
gotta
live,
right.
He gonna be like,
So like it's nothing to play with. I would suggest, as far as like the whole like how long should a female wait, honey, you should not wait. You need to deal with a man that is on your same wavelength.
Yes.
You want to be married in a year.
Period.
You need to deal with a man that's
And
ready
it
to
can
get married in a year.
That's why you have those conversations.
And it has to be transparent. But I feel like as women, right, we meet a dude and we don't want to be crazy, right? You don't want to look crazy. So as soon as you start talking about marriage, you're like, this girl is crazy.
And that's when I say peace out. Because
Right.
if you're looking at me that way, then that means that you're not the one for me.
Exactly.
And that's
Absolutely.
how you vet niggas.
And not only
Or females, whoever.
Like
I
whatever.
mean, as females, we have a clock.
Biologically,
And then that clock is like, okay,
Y'all already got
kids,
kids. We ain't got no
married.
kids.
There's a lot of stuff that falls
Not
into
to say
play.
for me.
So my thing is that if you're 30 and above, like, nigga, I'm not trying to play
Shit.
with you.
And it
We're not
takes
trying to play house. We're not gonna be like, oh, this nigga, that nigga. No, what are you doing? You come and sit. Are we
Right.
doing
Yeah.
this shit? Okay, we doing this. What are we doing?
Right.
You're gonna provide. We're gonna get married.
Exactly.
It's all about the timing.
But you also
I need my 3-carat ring.
But you cannot mess around.
Bling, bling.
Yeah. You cannot mess around with the
That's
whole like
every time I come
because
around.
because so many times. Because for us, like we joke about the ring and stuff like that. That's not what it's about. It's literally the acknowledgement that you want to take responsibility for this family.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Like so many dudes like, why a girl want to wait for a ring? My nigga, that's just a representation.
It
I
is.
just want to know.
It's a symbol.
It's a symbol. And when I walk around, I don't want no dude.
And that symbol better look good.
Yeah, because you're proud. You're proud.
People like,
We're
that's
proud,
not
motherfucker.
That's
She's proud, right?
I want to go like this.
And trust and believe.
Yeah.
Woman is engaged. She doesn't know niggas that
Right.
come
Like,
from afar.
I want to be like, so like when a guy wants to come up to you and you just be like, and he be like, oh, and I'm like, yeah.
That should be turning them on even more. Like,
Yeah.
she engaged.
Yeah. And like
So
you
what
get
we doing?
you know, and then they slick, they be like, oh, he's so lucky. He sure is. Now continue.
Yes.
No,
Everything is
you
looking
don't
like
want to
makeup.
tangent. The next question.
You like, oh, okay. You know?
Is this the
But
last one?
Yeah, this is the next question.
Yeah. So okay,
Let's
we're gonna
see.
move on.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 5 hours.
Do that one more time with him.
She said.
I'm just kidding.
No, you would have thought that right there.
When do women decide when they want to have sex with a partner, and what are the deciding factors? So when do women decide when they want to have sex with a partner? As far as like if you've been dating a guy,
Yeah, if you've been dating somebody probably for however long, when do you make that decision? And what brings you to that decision?
for me, it was a sense of responsibility. I could not sleep with a dude that was irresponsible as shit. Because because for me, I'm a very analytical. I think about everything, like every single thing. Even I think about the what ifs. It's really bad. And with my condition, I'm thinking like that. I always thought about like what happens if I get pregnant. What happens, God forbid, if I catch something? Like whatever it is. And those were my deciding factors. Like, how does he move in his regular life? And yeah, I'll sleep with him. But if he was some like random ass, hoodlum ass, run around here, no. Like, you couldn't catch me because I honestly felt like in my mind, right? If I slept with you and I got pregnant, I not only would be a baby mama, but like I would be one of your baby mamas. It's one thing to be a baby mama where it's like, okay, well, yeah, I got a kid. But I'm not about to be one of your baby mamas. Like, yeah, like I feel like there's you gotta be a strong woman to have a kid by a man that has several other women.
I'm not
With
doing that.
babies.
Sorry.
Like,
But what
I
I
don't know
can
if I
say,
even
being in
fucking-
general, like, let's be real.
I don't want to.
If you have a first date with somebody, the first date, you know in your head, like, this nigga getting pussy or
I know
not.
what I want to fucking do.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know
You
what
know,
I'm talking
sometimes you don't have to talk to somebody long term. It could be a first date.
No, you don't have to.
It could just be a conversation. You would know, like, damn, I'm gonna get this nigga the pussy or not. It is
Yeah,
what it is.
women
But I agree with her. If you
No,
want
but
to
it's a life.
Run around and
You
absolutely,
see-
I do agree with you.
like,
That's
it's
like,
a-
okay.
but it's a lifestyle thing because you can tell, you can see from first of all how he carries himself is huge. And not saying
Absolutely.
that, not saying that there's not no what a devil in sheep's clothing and shit like that.
Yeah.
That there's that, but you have to also have discernment to see the devil when
Not
he-
the devil.
because some of these dudes is the devil.
That
When
part.
they walk in the room and they try to talk to you and get, whatever in your drawers. So, as far as those are my deciding factors. How reckless are you? Are you reckless? Do you deal with a lot of females? Are you out here for a quick fuck? Like,
Absolutely.
those type of things, I'm looking at all those things. And just your mannerisms. How do you treat me just as a human?
Yes.
How did you even get my number? Like, all those things play a factor.
This is like Sunday's best.
Yeah.
Preach
It is.
it.
That's all we do on Sunday, sis.
You know, like, how did you get my number? Because, like, if you just, like, back in the day where it'd be like, oh, my homeboy want to talk to you. My nigga, your homeboy if I got 5 baby mamas. Like,
Yeah, we not doing that. Sorry.
right. So, no, I'm not doing that. And then also, you have the dudes that are very cocky that just walk up to you like, so
And just think.
you gonna give me your number?
Yes.
Why would I give you? Yeah, like what?
That's Nico, y'all.
So those type of things. There's so many different factors that play
Yeah,
into it. But
absolutely.
your lifestyle and how you exude that lifestyle, if you
Is your
flashy
factor.
as fuck and you think that I want your chain, and your,
Mixy, loopy.
yeah, like nah, like,
Scary-ish.
Cause y'all got a complex and a look.
Yeah.
So-
What about you?
So
For me,
Yes.
I'm drunk. Hopefully, I'm
You can tell in the eyes, baby. You can tell in the eyes.
That's an exceptional woman. For me, it's the gentleman for me. How you treat me, how you treat your mother, how you treat women in general, how you treat people.
yeah.
How your accountability, like ownership, just on your grown man shit. Like, I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah, he's a
Yes.
man.
He's a man.
That's a
He's
turn off.
man.
Like that's sexy as shit.
How you
like,
take care of things.
It is
like,
like a dude like that, I pay my credit card bill. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
You know, like
That's
that's
your
like,
responsibility.
yeah. And when shit hit the fan, how do you handle that?
right. Like
Mhm.
you have to be responsible. Like
Yeah.
you just need to live a life, not just be responsible like here and there. Like that needs to be your lifestyle. Like you're not out in these streets. The streets don't own you and stuff like that. Like not because
Can I say
people
one
get it
thing,
mixed
too?
up. Like if you have a roster,
Hold
you
on,
go
Flo.
to
Let me
the
say
street.
one thing. How you take care of yourself too, and you
Yeah.
don't allow me to try and play you. Not that I would, but I'm just saying, like you hold yourself to a certain stature that even if I was to try and like swindle you or like you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
you still like don't play with me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know myself.
Right. You want to snatch you up?
Oh, girl, stop.
What about you, Star?
It depends on where my mindset is at. So if my mindset is just, I just want to have fun, like, to me, like, sex is sex. So I'm not even going to see you in that sense of, like, the things that you're naming. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think of that because in my mind, it's just like, well, I just want to fuck. That's it. So that's where my mindset is at. But if my mindset is on, all right, I really like this person, then it's like certain qualities that would make me be like, all right, I'm going to give you the pussy. Like,
Yeah.
you got to make me laugh. I got to know that
Yeah.
you're
You
gotta make me
responsible.
Right.
Left me. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like we could talk about we could talk about like for me, a turn off for me is when I can have a conversation with a guy about just anything.
Anything.
It doesn't have to always be about sex. It
And
can just be
you're
like
just
random
vibing.
shit. Yeah, and just
Yeah.
vibing.
Yeah.
That to me, once I get that, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm
You got the
definitely
choice.
Sorry,
Open it
that's
up.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, women know, just like guys
Yes,
know.
we
Women
know.
know.
We know.
Yes.
It could be from the first date, the first conversation.
Absolutely.
And you just know when you're giving it up.
I sure as have my ex-boyfriend, after a week of meeting his ass, I was in his bed, backside, doing the thing.
Yeah.
And that's off the strength of, and he was older than me. I was in high school.
Yeah.
And just the vibe, his approach, the conversations that we had. Because for me, it's like, I'm intellectual. So when you, even though when you write, like, it took me a long time to get here because God is working on me. But I used to be at a point where if it was anyone who wrote me a text message and they didn't understand the difference between certain words, like I would even and a huge turn off with me in the past was with certain men. Besides the grammar, it's like the way, like how they talk is how they write.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I can't have no fucking conversation. Because I'm not going to talk about real world things with you, and you are just like
in the morning with a
just somewhere else. Yeah, go ahead.
This dude hit me up and we were talking or whatever. He saw me in the street. He was like, oh, I really want to get to know you, blah, 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 whatever. He hits me up and I was talking to him. I'm like, so how do you feel about the gentrification that's been going on? He's like, gentrification? I love smart people. I'm like,
oh, blocked.
No.
Some of y'all niggas is dumb. Y'all dumb.
I was like, a blur. Like, what?
Dumb.
It's the blitz.
Go read up. What's
I love smart women.
Not saying you gotta be fucking Poindexter, but I would think that, you know, we're all
That was
adults.
definitely my show, sis.
No, but listen, I would hope that as we are all mature adults and we're in, minus you, we're all in the but you're not in the dating scene no more. That's how it's going. Like, we're all in the dating scene that when I'm having a conversation with you, I'm not looking at shit struggling to read that sentence, and I'm still stuck on. I'm like, what?
Or like, you want something to eat? S-U-N?
Right,
Like, put some.
So for me,
You just
that's
put
like,
the letter. Like, just put some.
yes. So anyway, that for me used to be a huge thing, kind of still is, and
It's vocabulary.
but other than that, like a person who's very like intellectual, very like who stimulates my mind, like very like stimulates my brain. Like you stimulate my brain, like
When you say bisexual,
girl, that ain't even half, you know. But it's like, you know, that shit to me, cause I'm not gonna lie, I got standards, and I always have standards. And I'm not trying to be with no dumb nigga.
Right.
But you know, you touched on this because I remember one time with one of my ex-boyfriends, he was for the streets. And he knew my goals. And I was just like, and I told him one day, I was like, how do I look? Because we're talking about like long term, right? Just talking. And I was like, how do I look? I'm a doctor and I'm dating a drug dealer. How does that work? How does that work? Does that make sense to you? Like, does that make sense?
Because I'm not trying to take your money with my clean money.
But
and try to make it
it's like it doesn't work. I'm not in your bracket.
But you know
I'm not
what?
in your bracket.
But you know what it is? It's not. It's that, because that's actually a thing.
Ain't no Ghost of Angela shit. You feel
Right.
Exactly.
Right. So there's that. If you into some illegal shit, you need to deal with some people that's in some illegal shit, because it doesn't make
Well,
sense.
Get you a
Tasha.
Get you right.
To a Tasha.
Because you cannot go into somebody's life on some like, I love her, she loved me. My nigga, you're going to ruin her life.
Exactly.
Long term. Short term, yeah, she'll enjoy the sex, y'all enjoy her company, you'll enjoy each other's company, whatever. But that's how Angela showed up dead, messing around with ghosts, period. So there's that. So
Which is sad because he was trying to get out that lifestyle.
He was trying.
For me personally, I felt like he kind of got out of it. It was more so of like the pulling or whatever. Like every so often he'd get dragged back in because somebody was on they bullshit, so they called him and whatever. So that's that whole thing. But that's power, and you should watch it. Anyways.
Stars, you better run us our check. And her too, she plugging our shit.
So there's that. But on some like, when it comes to levels, you do have to deal with somebody that's
The levels matter.
It matters.
They
Like
matter.
I cannot deal with somebody that intellectually, financially, it doesn't make sense. Because like, it's not saying that I can't level you up or whatever. Like, it's, will you level up when you get it? Because I think that so many dudes get this.
Well, I give you the pussy.
Well, you know,
Right, because I feel like so many dudes get this whole thing where like either they're intimidated by a chick that makes too much money.
Absolutely.
So that, or
they have a career.
right, or you get the female that gets shamed for dealing with a dude that doesn't have enough money.
Absolutely.
So I feel like if you're a female and you make X amount of dollars and your man makes less than you, which is fine. I don't think that's a problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
I think that if it's only a problem if you make it a problem.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's only a problem if you make it other people's problem.
Absolutely.
So
she helping the gems
So like your relationship is nobody else's business. It's yours.
Absolutely. Yo, Erica Badu,
Preach. Like whatever your finances are, however you divvy up your bills, like that has nothing to do with nobody else but you. Whatever's comfortable for you. You pay 70, he pay 30. That's your business. Like I mean that's smart, but that's just my opinion. You like whatever you do, you do. But as far as leveling this man up, that's your job. You want to level this man up. You want him to be making more money than you. Because if you continue the dynamic, he'll always need you. You want to need your man. Like, as women, being that we have to be, especially black women, we have to be so strong. We have to carry them on our backs. We gotta carry the family. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. Like, we have so much responsibility on us. We want to be able to take it all off and rely on our man.
Yeah, because my back and my knees hurt, so.
Yeah, and it wasn't from dancing in the club last night.
It sure wasn't.
So, like, for me, I always look at it from the standpoint, I want to be able to take that all that off and lay my shoulder down and feel okay.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And it's not that black women don't want a man to lead. That's not even
that's not it.
Which is a misconception.
Right. I think it's more so of like, if this is a responsibility and I put it down, right? If I put it down here, will this whole table fall?
Right.
If this is the man and I put this shit down, will this whole shit crumble?
Right.
Because as women, that's our responsibility. We don't put it down because if we put it down, everything's gonna fall apart.
Or sometimes you could put it down and a man could throw it back in your face. Well, I did this, I did that. And that means you're not a real man if you have to do those things. If you're going to do something, do it from the heart. Let it be genuine and because I love you and this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Right, but I don't even think it's a real man thing. I think he's just not the man for you.
Absolutely.
Because another female might be fine with that. Another female might be like, okay, you gonna throw it back. All right, I'll just take it. Because they don't want to be lonely. They don't whatever they need in their life.
I want to take it.
Yeah.
So what you got to say.
Yeah.
Period.
So there's that. But it's just it's a balance, and whatever the balance that you need in your life is for you.
Absolutely.
And don't let society dictate that shit. You
Write
want
the
to
book, bitch.
I
Go
and
ahead.
this is how I like that. I'm just saying, like, it's for you. It's not for nobody else.
Period.
Don't let nobody tell you what your man can and cannot make.
I like this.
My man makes X amount of dollars, and I make X amount of dollars, and these bills is paid. Period.
That's all that matters.
Right.
All right. Well,
This was awesome.
yeah.
I like
Thank you
it.
guys for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys want to plug in your Instagram?
Yes. So that people will follow y'all. You know.
Follow me at Floresca is me, and that is me, ISME. And Floresca with a C, not a K. So at Floresca is me.
And your businesses.
And my business is at Etana, ETANANYC.
Yes.
There we go.
Follow. We'll still put it so everyone
Yes,
can follow.
it's London Zoe __ London
__
Zoe.
No, she black girl.
Not the Zoe.
She fake Jamaican.
Yes, London Zoe. ZOE. Thank you.
Joanne Lynn, JoeAnnLyn, and my YouTube is For the Love of Joe.
Yes. And y'all already know where y'all can find us. So, yeah. I don't need to plug shit in. So
This was so awesome.
So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I hope all y'all motherfuckers got your, questions
Questions
answered.
answered.
There you go.
And the ones that are hurt, please.
Yes.